Let's get a warlock somewhere.
You're a special one.
Let me actually summon me back to Mary's. I'm gonna take Res Totem. Even though I don't generally, you know, never mind. I'm just gonna
Just for the death run.
Yeah.
It's real easy if Illy gets. Oh no, he's on his DH.
I mean, even then we should be fine. We've got a Soul Stone, and I have 2 reses.
It's telling me I am not in this instance's group.
Is it a Val group?
No, I just got back. I was going potty.
It's a Crim group.
Let me. Oh no.
The server has
Wait.
no brain.
No,
We can't kill it tonight.
Crim wasn't here for any kills yet, right?
Has Crim accepted the lockout?
Wait, is Crim in the instance right now?
Crim is sitting in the instant.
Oh, that's why he's AFK in the instance.
Crim's-
He's not in the
Crim's
group.
He's not in our group though.
That guy.
But he's not in our group though.
Yeah. He probably logged out there and he logged back in inside the instance, and now it's holding it to.
Crim's trying to steal our lockout, shaking my damn head.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a little sus of him.
Alright, there we go, we're back.
We in? All right.
So we're not going to be able to get in until Crim is in the group.
Nope. Oh wait. Who's in here? Is Crim in here now?
Yeah, we're going to need to get him in the raid group, I think, before we can zone in.
You have
Well,
to.
I'm zoned in, or is this not?
It takes
It's
it
gonna
about
take
30
a couple
seconds before
seconds, and then it'll
realizes.
start booting you out.
Oh,
It's booting me out right now. I have 35
this
seconds.
guy.
Literally creeping us right now.
Like, is everyone getting booted for not being in the group because Crim logged in first? Oh my god.
Because we're not in Crim's group, yeah. I've never had somebody do this to me intentionally, but I have known for a little while that it was possible.
Our enemies amass
I
outside
don't
the
think
Hellguard
it's
gate.
intentional.
In their numbers,
No, I
they
know.
have the
He's
chance
not
to
doing it
strike.
intentionally.
No.
He's AFK
No,
though.
he's got our lockout, though.
But theoretically,
Why
like
would that not work if they're AFK?
somebody who's mad about like failing the trial or something could totally do this
Yeah.
and just fuck
I was
over
wondering
it.
how that would work.
Yeah, you could just log in the instance, and then they can't go in.
The only
You get
theoretical
banned for that,
protection is having somebody logged into the instance 24/7, which is like ridiculous.
Yeah, I think that is.
That's why world first guilds have to be super careful with the lockouts on their mains.
That happened in Nighthold. It's a method.
Yeah.
Really?
I think it is.
Yep.
It is a bannable offense now. Like.
Yeah, it's bannable offense.
It is, but you could still like lose a day while Blizzard's
You lose a
sorting
day.
it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, that's what happens in method.
Did Crim just have a sudden $82 show up in his account again? By a competing guild?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he fucked us over RMG.
Clear.
They're like, we don't want you to do face
We don't
crime
want you to get
tonight."
face crime this week.
You know what it probably
Maybe.
was is
Maybe Wara paid him.
Yeah, that's true. It would be someone in here, actually.
well, so much for sneaking up there and summoning everybody,
That's what I
because
was going to try to do.
that's what I was gonna try to do too.
Everyone congratulate Crim for ruining Christmas.
He's gonna come and be like, "Oh, sorry, guys." And laugh.
It's gonna do a
Okay,
laugh.
I'm
yeah.
not getting the. Oh wait, there it is. I'm not in this.
Yeah,
Yep.
it takes a few seconds.
What if we whisper him invite? Does his ERT auto invite us?
I just
It
called him
would.
on Discord.
Why don't we just
I
do
guess we
that?
could
I'll
do that.
whisper Crim invite.
No, he's back. I called him on Discord.
There we go. Now
There
she
we
was-
go. Yeah.
Sussy Baka.
I pinged him and then called him on Discord. I was like, give us back our lockout. Alright.
We don't all need to die for this. It's really just Zoid and I.
Group suicide pact,
Yeah.
go!
I was going to
Oh,
say,
that's
probably
on
the
me.
best thing to do is to
3 people need to die, right?
Yeah, we need three
Several,
people.
yeah.
I'm on my way.
is to soulstone a paladin because they can bubble the
Yeah,
rest of the
we
way.
can just do a druid who can mass res a couple people in range. I mean, nobody's got.
Oh,
food
yeah,
left
that's
for
true.
If I
range
time
yet.
my shit right, I don't die.
Druid-
I'm almost
Yeah,
there.
but can you res people?
No, but I can help click a warlock portal.
No, but like, why would we do that when we could just have the druid mass res?
Yeah, like we can just die at the base of the stairs and a druid
This
can
is why I
res
feel
us.
useful. Like,
Okay, so
either-
you and the druid can go up there and
Yay!
you can give the druid int while they.
I'm
move
helping.
with us.
Give up me lust. Sorry, res faster.
Yeah. Hero for him.
Then we have to
really
reset.
pull that stuff.
Yeah, he's going for it now.
Yeah, but it'd be faster. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm stunned for 10 seconds. Good luck, people.
Just need to die at the
I'm
base of the
running
stairs.
You can probably clear some with ice block, I think.
Oh, pod, no.
Well, I made it all the way up to some of those here.
Let me know when you want the lust for the res.
I literally just entered the dungeon.
Alright, I'm at the top too.
Alright, stop running into the room. Just die if you guys are still running.
Everyone just died. Kelly's got the res. Oh, you're
Yeah.
in shit, so you're gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of wait a second for this to go away.
Are you onking or do you have a B-res?
I totem resed, so I didn't burn my onk.
You actually lusted, you son of a bitch.
She's got a res faster. It's possible.
Oh, I was not in range of that.
Haha!
Hold on, it wasn't that close. Let me try a little bit closer. Otherwise, yeah, you might have to try to get closer.
I'm at the base of the stairs.
Okay, this is as close as I'm gonna get, though. So
If not, I'll res you and then you can
No,
run
okay.
further. Why do you release? I was right behind you, so I had to res you.
I did not see you.
Silly goose.
Saucy baka.
So who pulled the big guy? Because that's what kind of...
Sent
it sideways
saw
there.
a demon hunter zip through another walk.
Zoid, you could go the other way, Zoid, and just die like right outside here. Like if you see where I am, I can res you from way over here. If you want to die like right down here where these ads are. So yeah, if you die like.
I'm good in front of him.
Well, I stealthed up here, so.
We need to get Zoid up here, or Rice.
If I die right here, we'll be okay.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah, go
close.
die.
You can see on the map where Marius
Yeah, I
is
see
at.
your
Try to-
record
Your bots
below
are
you.
almost touching.
What is going on right now?
We are skipping trash, bro. This is a quick in and
Still
out.
not as
The
fun as
bots are
trying to
almost
skip down
touching,
to school.
Dallas.
We've
There we
only got
go.
Kelly for a half hour before she's got to go to raid.
Yeah, it's true.
Smell.
All right.
All right, let's summon over here though, so we don't accidentally pull on the wrong side.
Yeah, that's what killed our last pull. Let's summon Rice first, so then we can get a second summoning stone down as well.
Yeah, that's not happening.
What? We've got 1, 2, 3,
Got
4,
high
5, and that'll be
efficiency.
6. We'll have
Do you think we have the coordination to do this?
me,
Another
Rice,
summoning
and
stone doesn't actually do anything.
me, Rice, and War will summon half
No,
people
you
in
can
one.
summon multiple people on one stone, but it's
Yeah.
okay. Like, just
No.
we're just going with it.
We don't have the coordination for this.
You know how
9
much
out
of a
10.
quality of life change it was when you could see who was summoned and accepted?
Wait, how do you
It's
see that?
amazing.
It
On the raid
Well,
frames, it'll show you if you have a summon and if they've accepted it or not.
Mine doesn't show that.
I can see like a pending.
You have like everything disabled on your raid frames too, because you don't care about other people.
Warriors don't care about people.
Isn't it on by default? I feel like I didn't turn it on.
I
on my,
use grid though,
grid.
so I don't use raid.
Yeah, so do I, but I feel like I must have turned it on then, I guess.
I don't see it on mine either, but I see it when I actually like target the person.
Wait, Krim is now in Heart of the Forest and we have to summon him again?
Who are we
Wait,
missing?
did I not have to?
We're missing.
Oh, Pip.
Kovastus.
No, Pip's here.
I'm
Pip did say she's
I'm
gonna
unclear
leave
if
in a minute.
Scotty or I don't know if he's here tonight or not. I was unclear.
I wasn't
he's
super
on
sure.
the
I don't
day.
think he is.
You might not know we're rating.
Didn't he have a
Dang it.
test
Was
today?
he here? He wasn't here last night, right? So
No,
might
he
not
wasn't
know.
here yesterday. He might not know.
I
Ping
can
him
him.
real quick. Yeah,
Are you
just
saying Scotty doesn't know?
That's an old joke now at this point. Wow.
I'm gonna beat it into the ground.
I meant more that movie's what, like 20 years old at this point? Man.
I
Yeah,
don't remember that reference. That deserves me.
It's
We
a
just
song.
need either like Kovastus or Scotty.
I'll sit.
I don't know who else
or
we're missing.
jugs.
Or Jugs.
What do you mean you'll sit? We need one more.
Yeah, but if I sit, you could get 2 more.
Problem solved.
Undeniable logic right there.
I was playing. I got the Jackbox Party Pack 8. And I was playing with my coworkers today, and they have no idea what they thought. There was a question. It was like rank the these 8 sexiest men of the year, and they didn't know who Michael B. Jordan or Idris Elba were.
I've never heard of either of them.
What?
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 The Wire.
Have you seen any Marvel movies?
I feel like
No.
that makes you racist.
Nope. Not seen a single movie ever.
Yeah, they thought Michael B. Jordan was Michael Jordan, like the basketball player. They're
Oh,
like,
I thought
they-
that
they voted him like dead last. I'm like, why'd you put Tom Cruise over Michael B. Jordan?
you said Michael B. Jordan, and I was like, oh, I didn't know Michael Jordan's middle initial is B.
Oh,
I mean, it's fair if you don't know who.
Michael
Yeah.
I think we should all just be
Zoomers.
glad that he knows who Michael Jordan is, given his age.
That's Michael
That's a
Jeffrey.
My
Sure,
age
right?
and my
I mean,
demographic
he's probably-
is just
he's
nothing
probably
to do
seen
with that.
Space Jam. Is my
Yes,
guess.
I have seen Space
So that's
Jam.
why he knows who Michael Jordan.
He's only seen the LeBron Space Jam.
No.
Let's not kid ourselves.
No, I've seen the old Space Jam a bunch. My dad used to play it all the time, like when I was a kid.
Slam
We'll
and
watch it.
to the jam. Now everybody get up.
You didn't have to have the part about your dad watching it a lot. You know?
He liked the bunny, probably. He's weird.
Okay.
Is
Yikes.
your father a
That was,
furry?
that was the first anime.
I don't. Space Jam
Yep.
was the first anime. No, my dad would watch like all the Nickelodeon sitcoms with us, and then like a year ago, I asked him, I was like, "Why did you watch Victorious with us because you thought Victoria Justice was hot?" And he said, "Nah, I thought Liz Gillies was hot."
I'm about to Google these fucking names.
Who else are we missing? Beck, Kovassis, and Scotty? I feel like there's someone
Arcadis
else.
as well.
Yeah, I knew he was out.
How old is your dad, Ellie?
51.
Okay.
Dude, you with sweat and bullets.
I'm not
Close,
51.
close to you. Close.
Don't ask a question you don't want the answer to.
Do we know where Kovastis is? I mean, I think he is the most likely one, since I'm guessing Scotty has a test and Kitchen is still out of town. And
He
I don't know
finished
where
his
Beck
test.
is.
He posted earlier that he finished his test. I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't quite following that conversation. I couldn't tell if he said he had another test or.
The
if
final,
that was-
yeah, but
Yeah.
It's just the one test, actually.
actually, maybe he is gone tonight. He might be doing like tutoring or something.
Uh-oh, Zoe, you're not losing your peppers, are you?
Did anyone friend
Oh.
Jugs?
No.
We should.
He's still in the Discord.
He'd prefer at least 3 bosses, though.
But yeah, I mean, I don't really get much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
One boss lockout.
Still a Fate Scribe kill, you know? He's definitely not killed Fate Scribe. Something.
Yeah, but he's in
Anything.
business class. I feel like if he really cared, he'd get them to do it or something. I have no idea what the dynamic over there is.
Sounds like he
I mean,
must
we don't really
Yeah.
bring. There's like a few casuals in our guild, and we don't really. bring
Yeah,
them
I'll get
together,
someone.
So.
That's
I'll
true,
get
but none of them
someone.
are good.
That Paladin was in the guild for a while, right? I don't think we would have brought him.
Did
to
someone
Fate
actually
Scribe.
boot him? Because I haven't seen him around, so I'm
I
gonna
haven't seen
assume
him
someone
either.
booted him.
Oh, I forgot Fuzzy can't see this.
I think his name is Rexy.
Oh yeah, we could get Fuzzy back. We could potentially just pug.
Fucking someone for Fate
I
Scribe sounds kind of
don't. Yeah, I don't think that's a valuable use of our time.
We
But
don't need it that bad.
We could 19 minute if we just play the last phase.
Let's see if Ari wanted to. I think he's raiding right now, though. I can see though.
isn't he leaving that guild to join ours anyway? Just
If we keep
expedite it.
closing,
Are we ripping the band-aid off?
Come to our just
Well,
Fate
that's
Scribe reclear. Instead of raiding with your guild.
Who else do I know? The only other person I know is like probably. Let's see if Harmy's locked out.
Well, Beck just signed on.
Beck's online.
Yeah, we can do Beck, and Pip goes back to healing. We just lose the link.
Pip goes back to DPS.
Oh, we gain AM, so that's.
I mean, everybody was in
something.
Discord last night when I said we were raiding. I think Val left at some point, but I'm pretty sure even he heard. So.
Well, I mean, he's here, right?
He's here.
No. My point is, he was the first to leave, and
I usually am first.
so
I'm used to it.
everybody should know that we were raiding tonight.
Ain't first, you're last.
So Pip will need a book.
A bookie wookie.
And that means and then Ooh, Rice is gonna love this. He's like way down on the prio list. Actually, we're gonna move you up.
It's funny, as more and more like new people get added, I've been slowly creeping up the prio list, so I've gone from ring 5 and 6 to like ring 3.
I know, I got a ring 4 last night. I was like, huh?
I got ring 3 a few times. I'm like, eh.
I mean, I can move you down, but
No, it's fine. Like, I just hit mirror image and try not to die.
okay. Summon Illy, and then we can get started.
Illy's here. He's just standing off. 15-second pull timer.
I should probably swap classes.
Did we already drop the feast?
No.
Not yet. No, I was
We haven't dropped anything.
fixing stuff.
Anybody want to drop our game already?
I'll drop one if somebody else doesn't. After I get my food buff. Alrighty.
Wait, how do you still have a 239 native?
It's a vein ripper. We've never seen a mythic one
You
drop,
need
so what am I gonna do?
We've seen one drop. Thank you.
Krim, you should look at my trinkets.
I have 252 weapons, but just the proc on this is better than anything 252 for offhand.
That's depressing, Val.
Hell yeah, it is.
Okay, I feel like we need to
Just waiting on
spam
you,
some.
Pope.
Do you need me? Sorry, I'm late.
No, we're just gonna go with this.
Sweet.
Bring him in to punish him.
I mean, I got 9 bosses if you want to come. We got it.
I have-
a warlock.
I'm 9 as well.
I have 1 boss. I actually have 0, sorry.
Nope, just people pay attention.
But how many
We can be in
dumplings?
and out in 10 minutes.
Grim, right? Grim's
5,
Oh, sorry.
Crimson.
2, 1.
Rude. I don't think so.
I
think I
would,
usually
yeah.
do.
I normally do, so.
Oh, alright. If we face properly, it's like 5:05 into the last phase, it'll be back up.
Glad that question got asked then.
It's also fairly close, or at least it was last night, damage check for phase 1. To beat second ed. You can get Carly. Keep hitting boss.
5, 4,
How did I possibly
2, 1.
We need the biggest boss damage. Yeah, we barely did it. It's fine now. Do add.
What happened?
Yeah, next ad spawned, I think.
Yeah. No, next ad didn't spawn. It was. It
Oh,
ran
it blew
before.
up. Timeout.
The one.
Timed
No,
out.
we,
Yeah.
Did you guys bot?
yeah.
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 I caught it a little bit late, but shouldn't have made that much of a difference.
Make sure we have a soulstone since we skipped trash.
I have one. Run into the dark circles really quick. For a second there,
Because we don't have rogue opener.
For a second, I considered PIing myself to master us quicker, but then I realized that'd be counterproductive.
Keats, could you rally on Pulp?
Can
Yeah, I did, didn't I?
I
I didn't see actually.
I meant to.
You probably did.
Yeah, I probably would have pushed that boss.
I mean, we pushed it in time. It was close, but we did. We just ate the ad.
Or did we kill it?
I mean, more damage on either would fix it.
True, true.
Oh, did Anna start already? Check. That's my bad.
It was pretty close on the end too.
Wait, did the ad explode or did we?
Yeah, the ad blew up.
Or ran into the ad. Or whoever had it.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Wait, what? I didn't run.
Was that
Right,
a
time's out.
check we missed, or is that
It
it?
timed out.
You can
No,
also
timed out.
Vantis rune a race if you
Wait, I
want.
thought it only times out if he spawns another one.
No, I mean it
It
times
has
out
an energy bar.
when the other one was about to spawn. It just usually lines up that it's about that time, anyways.
Okay.
Like the other one
I
didn't
mis-
spawn because we pushed him under the threshold.
Okay, I misunderstood.
Exactly.
Sorry.
I needed to be here or no?
Nah,
Hi,
you're good, Fuzzy.
Fuzzy.
But hello.
Hi, old man.
Hey, Fuzzy, I miss you.
Fuzzy.
Huh.
I heard Colin moved to North York.
Yeah, dude. He's so close to work.
Fuzzy, do your friend look?
I don't know. Did he talk to you or?
No.
Oh.
I have a
told you
buff,
to talk.
girls.
Oh, you already got it.
It's renewable energy, so.
4,
There it is.
3,
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
I
don't.
heard Fuzzy talking. I forgot that.
That was really cool.
Sorry, am I distracting you?
I didn't know we were pulling. Which way do I want?
Careful here. Sure, you get your speed. You're still being in dice for now.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
And go on that. Should we finish on smallest? Just puddle right behind. Check assignments.
I'm on 5, right?
Life here on 6.
Okay. My Victoria is messing up.
You're not assigned on anything back. In 3, 2, 1, go.
I'm holding 6.
You can put it in.
It's going in.
Yeah, freedom kill. Sure, the ad stays slowed. You can res Carly. Kill ad. Stop on boss. Just go to add. Remember, you can just let it come to us. There's no hurry for this. Just don't accidentally push boss. Okay, wait a second to push. Let this dot fall off. And you can push whenever. Oops. You can actually keep playing. It's just you won't have the person in the center, and then you can res me.
I can do it for some amount of time.
Yeah, it's probably worth, yeah. Sure you check your assignments. And 3, 2, 1, go. Rice, remember you hold here. And you can also res me.
Carly sack. Oh, I need massive heals, Rice.
Is this a dicey res crim or should I?
No, we're all dead. We're all dead.
6 needs backup.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize all those beams.
Yeah, we have a lot
in the
dead.
middle.
Yeah, you can just wipe. Make sure we have recovery.
If that does happen again, how do you do the middle? Because I did bubble, then I did freedom, but then I had a giant dot from other beam. Do you just stand? Do you just like dodge back and forth?
No, I do freedom. So I do 2 freedoms back to back and spell ward, and then normally another freedom right at the end the first time, and then I do double freedom bubble the second time around.
But how do you not get eaten by all those threads of fate?
Because I mean, when you have the freedom, as long as you're directly in the center, you don't really take that much damage, or at least I don't on a tank. Like, I just make sure I'm sitting in consecration, and it's fine.
Yeah,
And
I had a giant thing of.
You need to be
exposed
like
threads.
directly in the center,
Oh,
though.
okay.
Like on that gem, that
Yeah.
little thingy.
That's done. That's my bad. How did despair?
I had a beam.
Okay.
Yeah, once we lost Carly, we kind of fell behind a little bit. I think Carly and Beck were both dead pretty early. Then we started wiping, or
In
maybe
the
it was just
middle.
Carly. I don't know. Yeah, I mean that's rough.
It's kind of lame that when you're passing through that shit, you're just gonna die. You have to
The
pass
beam?
through the ads.
Oh, yeah, when you're like, yeah, that's unfortunate.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Rally.
I forgot.
That's what I have to do.
get your speed.
Now we're dead.
Did Slow just fall off there?
Wara was dead, and then I think it, like.
Nope.
War got hit by a beam, I think.
Yeah, I ran.
Yeah. Wait, what is? So you were in your necro thing, is why it doesn't show you as the death.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Wait, does the ad go off even if you're not really dead because of Bonesmith?
I assume as soon as he actually died, it exploded, so that you can't cheese the tank head. Keats and Carly, you probably both want to repair.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, mage buff. I think. There it is.
I was watching my other monitor.
5, 4,
Oh.
3, 2, 1.
It's off to a good start.
Always would have taken
Send it ship? Okay.
Not safe here. Luckily, they're both shaman. They can both fight.
My totem just fell there.
From the fast.
5, 4, 3,
They did blast boss.
Work on it, so
Bring both close to add. Or I cannot. Jesus. Kill that other egg. Clean up the smallies, and then you need to hop on this shade. Watch the pool at the back. You need to hit the shade right now while you can. And then, like, let's get a vortex and a solar beam on those smallies.
Our slogan is
Exploded.
explode ever dead.
Yeah. That was my bad.
I think we were very unlikely to live anyway.
Yeah.
Left that to beam, right? Yeah.
Yeah, just greedy. My bad.
So wipe number 3. Yeah.
There's already a hammer. So
Yeah, that was
if you need to repair, please repair now. Even if you don't need to repair, just go ahead and repair.
I wish you could mark hammers.
Good. You mean
You
like
mark yourself and then stand on it.
Oh, true.
For now, you need to try to kite the first Adwar as close to the boss as you can, since every time we're so close that we're like one energy tick off on the ad exploding anyway.
Pretty sure I've been doing that.
You have, but just
Hundredfold.
make sure you do it as well as you can.
I'm dropping my slow totem out by the tank who's running the ad, so if someone could drop one by the boss just to make sure.
I'm just gonna keep my slow on him the whole time. It takes me one global.
Yeah, can
Like
we?
ever.
Can you not kill it? Because then we'll get more.
Oh, yeah,
cleave.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
I
like
can
just
do that.
I'll control.
I'll
Like
do
I wanted to.
Growlithe closer then.
Yeah, for my ad, I wanted to like speed at me, and then I'll
Okay.
change it myself and there.
Yeah.
Growlithe will still need consider.
I'll do it when he gets close to the boss. I'll
5,
drop totem on boss
4,
then.
3, 2, 1.
Sorry, I saw the thing. Give all the
Blast and blast. Let's move him a little more central or so the range can Go ahead. You can actually just push both at the same time. Watch the bottles at the back. Check your assignment. Three, 2, 1, go.
Might need despair here.
And Ellie, you can turn him.
Did my entire ramp and never hit Spirit Shell.
I'm sorry.
You're too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't leave it that far if you're gonna try and.
No, I didn't leave far. I had to stop a lot, and then I jittered back. I jittered around an orb like twice, and then it like stopped. Dumb.
Were you like stopping for people or just for
No. It was I didn't like stop intentionally. I just like.
Oh, I got you.
Trying to do the stutter step shit, and then I just fucked up, and I took a while to get there to begin with. It was just silly.
I'll make you stutter step on the last one. You just sprint the whole time.
It was when there's an orb on me.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
right time.
Well, but so like just go. Don't stop. Go outside.
No, I know.
He's got it.
I got it. I just did it dumb, and it took a while to get there too. It was far away. My bad. 'Cause I thought I was 5 at first. 'Cause I was oh, shit.
All right, this time with feeling.
Make sure you augment rune too. There's some in the bank if you don't have.
This time I'm gonna actually hit my cooldown.
Mage buff. Thanks.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
your speed. It's also moving a little closer to center, so the range can hit for longer. Go add. Go push. Which bottle?
My 6 here?
Nope. LA is 6, you are nothing.
Oh.
Nothing.
3,
Sorry.
2, 1, go. It's okay, Pip.
You're something to me.
I hit the cooldown this time. I did it.
LA, you can go.
Good, here we go.
And Rice. Careful beam. Sure the ad is slowed. Sure you get your speed.
Five, four, three, two, one.
You can go on ad. And should skip all the beams. Stop boss, just do ad. Nothing on boss, nothing on boss. We want a good pusher. Harris paints at me. Blast this noise. Should be fine here. Make sure you finish those off. Check your assignments. And 3, 2, 1, go.
Carly sec.
Nice spit.
And ready, prepare to get out. You can put it in whenever, Pip. Remember, no ad, just boss.
Probably just do damage.
Remember when we eat the ad, you also pop your first one. It's gonna be a little dicey with only one like watch beam.
Alright, ramp's looking good.
Alright, I'm gonna pop it right away then.
Yep.
I'll link on later half. We need the aim. The aim first and back second.
3, 2, 1.
You should be safe now. Now we just blast. And you probably want to take the next one too.
We did it, Reddit.
Growlithe isn't over.
No raid rules forever, my son.
It is in fact over. Yeah.
Thank you for
Just very quickly before you leave. So we do, now that we have like some sort of vague time frame for when stuff is going, you need to make sure that you have thought about if you're playing the same class, so that we can actually gear it up if you're changing. Like Keith's, I assume, is already done with that, but if anybody else is doing something like that, make sure you talk to one of us, so we can make sure things are in order. And then also, we at some point need to have a guild meeting to talk about some stuff. So that'll be coming up. It'll probably be during raid, but we should be able to do it during reclear. But if you have any comments, questions, concerns, stuff for improvement, anything like that, make sure you're thinking about that so you know what you want to say.
How do I get these? Oh shit.
I got you.
Are you guys in?
I'm
gonna
Necrolord. No, I'll just hearth to the Necrolord place.
I think I have to grab an item from Phallus as well.
Okay.
I don't get it. I didn't get anything.
Stop running, Val.
Oh, what's up?
Oh, it's Cove. My bad.
Don't fucking loop me in with all you shamans. Fuck
Where are you in here? Oh, you went to
give this
Ordos.
to you.
How do I trade Woozy? She left.
Aldraxis honors you.
Nice.
Oh, someone else can
Doesn't matter.
snap
You
it,
can,
can't they?
you can bend it if you want. I
Oh shit, my bad.
It's up to Kelly. If Kelly wants you to find her, she'll be found.
What? Sorry, I'm gone. I don't know what's happening. Bye.
That's fine.
Yeah. Then you can just
I had to
snap it.
put the kid back in bed. He was
You
on
could have
me.
given it to me to disenchant too, but I'm already back in. Actually, if you're back in Elysian Hold, I'll snap it.
I'm not Elysian Hold.
Where are you going?
Where are you going?
You keep running from me.
No, yeah,
Why are you running?
Alright, time to go dig a hole in Minecraft.
There we go.
Alright, that was much more complicated than it needed to be, but thank you, my fellow shaman brethren.
Absolutely.
So is tonight the night we shackle poor Growlithe to a key again?
Oh, does Aiden or Rice, when you guys want to come to this, the Thursday group?
What about me? Whoa, what the hell?
Or Illy, but I mean, they've been here before, so I felt like I owed them first choice. It's actually only 2 spots.
Oh. Alright.
Rogue or Mythic?
Mythic.
Oh, okay. I can't help.
I was wondering why you were asking. I'm like, you don't.
I didn't realize it was Mythic.
I don't know.
No, I'll go.
Illy's gonna sneak in there then.
On the Dogger?
Yeah, Dogger.
I don't know.
Get me in there.
Don't need any loot.
Oh yeah, you got your 1 boss kill for the week, Rice. Nice.
No real way around that one. Well, I guess we could have just like not brought him and brought in Cavassus instead, but whatever.
He needed his.
Did you do any more looking at
Embers.
the bosses on PTR, Growlithe?
I didn't look at like the dungeon journal on PTR. I saw some of the changes on Wowhead, but that was it.
I actually finally did a full look at the Dreadlord fight. That fight actually seems really cool.
Yeah, from what I've seen of the Dreadlord fight, it looks pretty fun. Although
I just want a weak
Dreadlords
aura that
are
does
interesting.
Amogus sound effects.
Even without the Amogus stuff, like the actual what looks like the
Yeah, it's
actual
got, like,
mechanics of the fight look
it's
pretty
got like
fun.
the carrion swarm that you're systematically spreading and sharing with people. Like that's always a fun mechanic.
Yeah, it's like that, but there's also the bosses have the carrion swarm and the shadow fears and stuff. Because I was looking on, I think it's on any of the fights. I don't remember if it's on Mythic or not, but like there's the torment. It's like a fear, an 8-second fear that you can use to disperse the carrion swarm off of someone, but it fears them for 8 seconds.
They just combined Varimathras and what was the other one? Tychondrius.
Yeah, it's just like a full-on combination, which is pretty cool. I mean, because that's like the full-on classic Dreadlord thing. Did he dissolve into a carrion swarm in? I don't think he did.
There was
He
a
just,
carrion
shot out
swarm
to
that he shot out, and then he did
he, like,
something in like. He had a second phase where he disappeared, but I don't know if it was a swarm.
That was the sleep phase, right? Where you'd like put everyone to sleep, and you'd have to like kill the blood plots.
Yeah,
before
you had to
woke
kill.
up.
You had to kill something to get it to spawn like little orbs that everybody had to collect, or they died if you didn't collect one.
Yeah.
It didn't kill you if you didn't have it. It was just a big damage amp coming out of the phase. And
No, it killed you on Mythic.
oh, okay.
You had to get one for everybody in the raid, and people couldn't like double collect if you got just enough.
But yeah, overall the fight seems cool. And then I like, of course, like the major like abilities. The Carrion Swarm and the Shadow Swarm seem like that's just going to be insane damage. It's like 22k every second, which I guess isn't that bad, but
I am more excited by the splitting up of the raid into the 8 and 3 because it opens up some interesting possibilities if they like treat it differently. I don't know that they will.
Yeah, that's true.
I have no like they could definitely go either way, but
what do you mean treat it differently, like difficulty wise, or?
Yeah, like since you could have, there's no reason, like especially since I imagine this is going to be a very long patch, that they can't be like, okay, 1 to 8, like it's kind of your standard progressive difficulty curve, and 8 is very difficult, not like end boss difficult, but like
complex and
like
very complex kind of Painsmith, or maybe even slightly harder than Painsmith, and then 8, 9, 10, you'd bump it down slightly from 8, but you'd be at like 6 or 7 boss difficulty, and then ramp up from on 9, and then 10 would be back to penultimate, and then 11 would be obviously end boss. And so you'd have just the last 4 bosses actually being like super hard, which I think they could do, but
I would hope for that, because like, sorry?
I don't think that makes something harder than Paintsmith. Like, Paintsmith is on the same tier as Hungering to me. Like, I think no joke. No joke, because like every boss except for Hungry Destroyer and Painsmith that I can ever remember doing, after we've killed it the first time, I don't have to pay attention at all to anything. I just like turn my brain off, AFK, never die to anything. It's super easy. But like Painsmith and Hungering, if you stop paying attention for half a second, you die.
I think this is.
I agree on Painsmith. I still don't know what you're
Hungering,
talking
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not trying to throw
you're reacting
shade,
to other
but
people. It's like the people with the beams are never spreading properly. Like, especially if you're in melee, you have to like, you want to stay in melee and not get hit by beams, but also soak circles, but not take extra stacks. Like, there's just so much you have to pay attention to not die. When you're overgeared, it doesn't matter, but on Prog, it was like an insane amount of stuff you have to pay attention to.
It was fine on Prog. I don't know.
I got killed by people. No, I would stand on the like markers, and I would just get killed by people not moving out far enough with beams, like all the fucking time. So it was just so much to pay attention to. Because other people are lazy with their movement and they just kill you if you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
I don't think most people. So just assuming Hungering is actually that hard, I still don't think most people are like you though, in that they kill a boss and then they can like autopilot it. I think you're underestimating how good of a player you are in that regard.
I think it depends on the boss. Like some bosses are much harder for melee and range, and it just depends on what you.
Yeah, I guess
what is difficult for you.
Everyone has like their own like what is hard for them, right? And I think just my like what I'm basing it off is like how hard I have to focus to do it correctly. It's kind of my challenge because like nothing in the game is actually hard. It's just like. For like Sylvanas, I have to focus for like maybe 30 seconds over the whole 15 minutes of like actual hard stuff. If I get mechanics in like phase 3 or whatever, but the rest of the fight is like there's literally nothing I have to do. But then Painsmith, I'm just like the entire fight. If I misstep once, I just die.
I think the term is punishing, not hard, because
I guess
it a lot of Mythic raiding reminds me of playing old NES games that just, they couldn't make them super long, so they just made them ridiculously hard and unfair. So if you weren't paying attention for half a second, you got knocked in a hole.
Yeah, I mean that's what Paintsmith feels like.
I mean, and they can do that in different ways in fights. Like, the Anduin fight almost certainly is going to have that aspect to it because it has, with some frequency, the Star Augur mechanic that basically is every, let's say, minute or whatever it ends up being, you have to focus for that 13-second, whatever it is right now, window, where you have to actually, like, find players and stuff. So,
yeah. So
that's not too terrible. Like, the hardest mechanics...
Okay, Zoid, the Star Augur Unat mechanic isn't hard.
Well, it's not that bad as far as it goes. It's just like...
It is not hard in concept.
You can anticipate it. You know you have to stop and focus on this. It's not like the spike just sneak up on you.
Yeah, I think the thing that's uniquely hard about Paintsmith is like Star Augur's only hard because you're reacting to other players also moving. Like Paintsmith is actually just hard to avoid everything because of like how strict, like it's so tight, the movement on a lot of it.
Like the first time I lived through
Paintsmith mechanic is I mean, in my mind, the Paintsmith mechanic is easier because it is scripted. So like the intermission is hard, sure, but you know exactly where stuff with like minor like random pull basically spawns. You know where you have to be every time.
Well, I'm not even saying the intermission. I'm saying mostly just like getting into melee range of the balls quickly enough that we can kill them, but not too quickly that you fucking run into it. Because like it's very inconsistent.
But that's all.
Just walk at the balls.
But that's all like all I'm saying is that's all like 100% scripted. Like there's some minor variation to it every pull, but it's scripted. But the like Star Augur mechanic, it's not scripted at all because it's a player done mechanic.
See,
so there's two players interacting.
That was kind of my point.
Have different things. Like I know that I have the most difficulty with mechanics that are proactive and punishing. Like if I have to like a mechanic like Star Augur, I don't remember having much trouble with that because it was 100% react. You had to react quickly, and like the Rive and stuff on Sylvanas, that's completely reactive. Whereas on Paintsmith, you can easily get yourself stuck in a bad spot and get spiked.
That's also a class thing, like because like my mobility is useless on Paintsmith also, so like I can't like roll. If I ever hit roll at like any point in the fight, I just run into something and die because there's not enough space. So that's maybe part of the reason because I'm used to having all that mobility and I just can't use it on that fight.
I mean, in my mind, so like player versus like boss mechanic is kind of lowest tier difficulty. Player versus each other is like ramped up a little, where like two players have to interact to accomplish something, and then every time they essentially either so two players interacting is like fairly difficult. You toss a third player in there and they all have to interact in a way that's more difficult because that extra communication. And then the other like variation on that is when they split the raid group completely up into multiple groups. That adds complexity. Like in my mind, that's how like you can have a mechanic in any of those four like iterations, and the simplest one in my head is the player versus boss version of it, and the hardest is they totally split the raid for the same mechanic.
That's not always like I
it's
think
not that's not always true in general. I'm saying
because like I don't think like when you first said like three players working together, like go to like Dark Vein, which is like getting the balls lined up or whatever. Like that mechanic, sure, it's a little tricky, but I don't think anybody in the world would say that's harder.
I thought that was cool. I really like that mechanic.
Yeah,
you felt like such a boss when you were the person doing the last one, and you got it just right. You knew exactly how to put them together.
I mean more like, and I can't actually think of an example in WoW of this off the top of my head, although I'm sure they've done it. So like you have a Star Augur mechanic where you have to match up two shapes with players. So instead of that, what if you had multiple shapes, but you have to, let's say, combine one of each shape has to meet, and it's like on 2/3 of the raid or whatever. So that is harder than just the Star Augur mechanic because you're forcing three players to work together instead of just matching the two.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, obviously, the more variables, it's going to be.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't like a profound argument. It's just you're adding an additional spoke in the wheel, and it's making it more challenging,
Well, I mean,
which
like,
is how
like
most
you
stuff
are,
works.
You pretty much always say, Grawl. It's just a matter of how they tune it. You know, like if they have Star Augur that gives you 30 seconds to do it, then that's trivial. No matter how you have to match everybody up. But if you
Yeah, I mean
only
that's
have
why
10,
when we
yeah.
that's why when we did Star Augur, it wasn't. So we did.
Oh, that's true.
I
That's
think we
right.
started Star Augur, and it was like the first nerf version of what was the mechanic name? Like Constellation or something. I don't remember. But that was like we had 3 or 5 seconds longer than the initial version, and then they nerfed it again. I think before we killed it because we were much worse at that point, and so you had like 18, 20 seconds or something to match everybody up. And so that like is obviously much different from an initial like 12-second
Oh,
or
absolutely.
10 seconds to do it.
Grand Conjunction, that's what it was called. And yeah, that explains why I don't remember it being that hard. Oh, it was also very big shapes, so I like that one.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's so hard.
I'm not sure if
4, 3.
I don't know if most people like this, but I really like when they iterate on like a unique mechanic like that. I wish they, like, I'm glad they brought it back a third time because I'm excited to see how it's different. Like the change on Unat where you basically, instead of forcing players to meet each other at whichever location, so they add a third symbol, or no, there were like 3 symbols on Star Wars, so they didn't add a symbol, they forced it to set locations, basically, which you could decide. There might have been 4, I'm not sure.
On Star Augur or not?
Star Augur.
There were 3 on Unat, because it was the 3, whatever they were. Trying
I never did Star Augur, so I didn't do Unat either, but I watched people do it.
Yeah, that's something that's kind of nice to see. That is one of the things I feel like they've done nicely in this expansion in general, is they have iterated on stuff that worked before.
I mean, it's just very hard at this point to come up with like a totally new style of boss mechanic. And so what they seem to do now is they generate complexity by interactions of mechanics, or they generate novel complexity from encounter-specific like arena design. So think like Ashara. There's stuff unique to line of sight in that room, plus there's like the ruins or whatever they were called. Like they add stuff like that that's new and complex to some degree. But like anytime you kind of just think of a mechanic, like I find that at least half the time it's already in game, at least. Like here, if not in Final Fantasy, it's definitely in one of the 2. They added our old friend the batteries from Guardian into next raid I saw.
No.
I don't know. I don't think they, other than a model, I don't know that they're like remotely the same. But
yeah,
No,
I like
they
that.
aren't the same.
That's a good example mechanic for just. It's only a little bit hard because you do have to slightly coordinate. You have so little time to do it. Like if you had an extra 1 or 2 seconds to do that, it would be a completely trivial mechanic. It's not hard as it is, but it does take a little bit of thought. And if you had 1 second less, it would be extremely difficult.
This tower shall be your
I did see like they added like 8 or 10 spells to Jailer fight since the first time, or maybe the data mining was like incomplete the first time around, but to us at least it's new.
The Mythic seems interesting baseline because it looks like you're defending Azeroth the entire fight as opposed to just like at the end, which is, I assume, like
it reminded me somewhat of Ashara, where you're having to like fill something up constantly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But obviously, like implementation, I have no idea, so it could be completely different in practice.
Wait,
yeah, it
what is
seems
the jailer? What with Azeroth?
to
I have
destroy
no
it,
idea,
make
man.
health is all he says. It says so if Azeroth reaches 10% health, he executes it and unmakes all of reality. So that's what it says in the book. I don't know what that
so
means.
what does the jailer actually want? Like, he just wants to
I'm
like.
so confused.
Apparently, he does just want to reshape everything into a reality of torment. So it was about power all along. Deduzer's just a fanfic writer.
Pretty much. It's a, okay. He just wants to like. Is he just
rule
like
everything probably? I don't know.
Reality of
mustache
torment. So
twirling
he
villain?
just like is this weird.
He thinks the reality that like we live in is not right or just. I guess he has his own perception of way of how reality should be, so he wants to go to the first ones too.
But they describe it as a reality of torment. So he just like his version of good reality is just torment for everybody.
It sounds like he wants to just be like king of the universe. Like he doesn't
That's
actually...
the only like.
But edgier.
Yeah,
Edgy,
that's the only explanation that kind of makes sense. And maybe his just maybe he has limited vocabulary, so he doesn't mean he wants to like, have eternal torment for everybody, but he's lived torment his whole life, so that he doesn't know what like peace and harmony would be.
Oh, they're gonna redemption arc him as well, do you think?
They might in like 12.0, who knows?
Wait, no.
He's definitely a villain.
There's no way. They're trying to redemption arc Sylvanas now.
They really
What?
Thanos him. Like, I mean, you think about it. They tried to make him Thanos at this point. You know?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. It's kind of like
They've had him collect all the shards, the Infinity Stones. Like, really, it really was. He's got the I don't know, his gauntlets, the armor.
But
I have no idea.
Thanos' intentions were like at least somewhat understandable. The jailer just seems like I'm just gonna be bad because I want to be bad.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
I mean,
I don't know.
in my mind, it's kind of similar to how like most Marvel movies have like shitty villains, because like you have a villain introduced in a 2-hour movie, and most people, unless they're like huge comic book fans, know nothing about it, and so there's like little time to actually like build it up as like, why is this guy doing this? Like, why does their train of thought make any sense other than mustache twirling villain? And it seems kind of similar to like how they have written the jailer. It's like, obviously this is a 2-year or year and a half, whatever
Yeah, that's the big
is expansion.
That's
but,
part of the
but
problem.
it's the same thing. It's like, so yes, 2 hours in a movie is very different from like 2 years in game, but 3 patch cycles is not like a ton of storytelling time. Whereas if they developed like Sargeras over like
The entire
15 years, like
No, here's the thing, though, Growlithe, is it could be just the way they drip feed us the story. It isn't.
no, absolutely wrong. But I maintain that the MMO format is a shitty storytelling format.
Yes.
Can I tell you about something you probably haven't heard of before, because no one talks about it on the WoW subreddit? But there's this indie little game called Final Fantasy XIV.
But
they
yes,
have-
they force you to like
you can
do
skip it.
storyline.
You have to pay for
Essentially
it.
force you to do.
But
Oh,
my
you have to-
point
oh,
is
good.
that, like, yeah, it's never going to be like a, Mass Effect 2, Witcher 3 style, like, great storytelling medium, but it can be much, much better than
It can absolutely be
the way
better.
WoW does it.
Also, like WoW, you have to do the story in WoW, like to unlock the raid and everything, get the Korthia and all this stuff. You have to do. There's just not a lot of it.
I was about to say, are they gonna like time gate the raid at this point? Like, aren't they gonna time gate?
Yeah.
bosses?
Time gated like a week or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Was it gonna be like per boss per week, or is it gonna be like 3 bosses?
No, just the last 3 have come out a week later.
It's because so in game it's because they want there to be there's an actual passing of time between defeating Anduin and going to fight the jailer. But I heard Max
It was
say
likely supposed to be
make a lot of sense.
9.2 was Anduin and the 9.3 was the jailer, and they just
Which
ran out of
makes
time.
the most sense because it's like we go fight Anduin in wherever, and we're like, all right, we freed him. We can figure out how to actually stop the jailer now, and the time passing is between patches, which makes way more sense than just arbitrarily time getting a raid. But since the time that they have is, heavily shortened, they're just doing what they can, which is, I feel like, fine, especially because like an
their
eight-boss raid
options
is
are
perfectly
either
fine.
their options are either do that, like do what they're doing now, or delay the expansion by like almost a year, which they're just not going to do.
Yeah, I mean, at least we'd hope that's not what they would want to do, right? Or
Well,
I mean, obviously,
they've
it's not
already
what
said
they
there's
want
no-
to.
the expansions are what
there's
makes
no
them money.
knife
Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's tough.
yeah. I mean, I do like feel kind of bad because like I know that the whole work from home COVID bullshit that happened probably had a huge impact on its expansion. That's kind of why it was so shitty. But I mean, yeah, hopefully 10.0 is better because like hopefully now that they're like 9.2 is probably mostly done at this point, and they're probably like into 10.0. So hopefully they have a lot of time to develop and make it good from the start.
I mean, they've said in the past, like, I don't know when, and it probably varies between expansions, but at some point they split the team, and they basically convert some people to only working on future, like whatever 10.0 expansion is, and they don't work on the base game anymore.
Okay.
Find a way to thwart the jailer's plan.
Yeah. Like,
So
I think,
that almost certainly has already happened.
I think it's kind of good because like this raid could be good, right? This next one coming up, but like overall, I think people are going to see this expansion as not great. So hopefully,
I mean, I think it's gonna be a lot. I mean,
yeah. I mean, just the fact that there's only 3 tiers is like already a big letdown compared to what it's expected. So like, hopefully they use the extra time from, because like this last patch is going to be earlier than most last patches are into an expansion, just because we're only doing 2 instead of 3.
how long or when did
If we go from when the expansion launched, we're getting it about.
when did it launch? That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah,
I think it launched in November. Yeah,
November 2020.
About 1 year ago.
Yeah.
We're getting about 2 or 3 months earlier in the overall expansion cycle than we got in Iolotha. But obviously we had a whole extra tier in there.
Yeah, so it's gonna. That's what I'm saying. Is like it's gonna give them extra time to make 10.0 as good as possible, hopefully, because they're cutting one patch out.
I feel like 10.0 is the actual do or die for them.
No,
I would agree.
I mean, with how bad Shadowlands has been,
I don't
like,
and
and how
as long as they're making the game, like even if they make Shadowlands and just re-release Shadowlands quality content for the next like 10 years, people are gonna play the game. Like people are so committed to playing this game that
there's.
doesn't matter.
I don't think it's possible to like completely 100% like exsanguinate a game of players, but like. I feel like the mass majority of people that play this game will start to dwindle if the game is.
I think the mass majority has already gone down a lot, but they don't release their numbers. So it's hard to tell.
Yeah, I know, but like the people that are still playing, that are getting tired of it, like especially because there are other good MMOs that are coming out.
I mean, there's Final Fantasy.
I mean, there's also games like Lost Ark coming out that is like actually really good and already has like a game. It's a game that's been out in Korea and it's done very well, and they're changing the business model for the Western audience because we don't like a lot of the things that they like in Korea.
I'm just saying it wouldn't be the first time a foreign MMO has come over and just failed in the US.
I mean, it already did well on the beta.
Years that WoW's gonna get killed by a random MMO X.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I didn't say that at all. I said that with other options, if WoW does not like, WoW is going to kill itself and give people other options as to why they can let it kill itself.
Yeah, but I think that point is people have been saying that for 15 years and it just doesn't happen.
I mean, World of Warcraft doesn't kill it. It's not going to kill
WoW
itself.
is essentially going to die when Blizzard decides that the amount of money and time spent developing it is no longer worth it because they've shifted over to mobile games. That's essentially when it's going to die.
Like WoW, as long as Blizzard is continuing to develop WoW, it's never going to die. Like they have to be like, we're not developing the game anymore.
There's still like a pretty good.
Well, there is a death spiral where so they just roll it back and they deliberately give you one fewer patch every expansion. So then fewer people play, so then they cut back more. Like it's not going to like die all in one go and like, oh my god, we lost 9% of users in 1 month. It's just going to slowly decline, which it kind of has been the last 2 expansions.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like with more options for people to play. Like, you're a perfect example, Aiden. You haven't stopped playing WoW, but you're certainly playing it a whole fucking lot less because you have other games that you like to play that are out, that are coming out for things for you to do.
I think it's,
if the amount of stuff there is to do in WoW starts to drop more than it already is, You're gonna
I mean,
play
I'm not
less
gonna
and less.
To be fair, when
long-
did you start playing WoW, Aiden?
Like December 2017.
What? So that's Legion,
Like
right?
4 years. Yeah, like it's like Antorus came out is when I started playing.
I mean, Aiden is essentially in the. He's played WoW long enough that he knows the gist of it. And so I would expect somebody like him in his position to play WoW a whole lot less than he did at first.
Yeah, that's kind of. I mean, everyone who plays WoW, like when you first play WoW, the first time you play it, it's like the best game you ever played in your life, and you wanna
And there
play
is
it
more
literally all
content
day,
than you
every
can
day.
imagine. Like,
Yeah.
because you have to go through 15 years or whatever of content.
Yeah, but I
Probably none of it makes sense now.
No, none of it makes sense, but it's still there.
there's not really anything WoW can do that's gonna make me go back to wanting to play the game 12 hours a day every single day. Like
Nope.
there's no shot. Like it doesn't matter how good the expansions are, no matter what they do. Like I'm not gonna want to do that. I just as long as they're making raids and the raids are fun, I'm gonna stay up to the game though. Is kind of my point. It doesn't matter how shitty the rest of the game is.
And that's different for casuals. But honestly, I don't think any of us really fully understand what motivates a casual like game player in WoW.
Apparently.
Yeah.
And hairstyle.
And that's like obviously the majority. So they are in some respects more important to WoW devs, but
I think WoW, if they put more work into cosmetics and mounts and transmog and stuff, because I think just comparing it to Final Fantasy, it is like severely lacking.
especially the mounts from what I've seen. I think like the mounts are like shameful comparatively.
Absolutely.
I think a lot of the other stuff there's definitely less in WoW, but a lot of the like armor sets and stuff I think are much more subjective in terms of like which game has better.
The armor sets, but like something as simple as like being able to dye your armor different colors in Final Fantasy is just such a good
Yeah.
quality of life thing, and you can't do that in WoW.
But I mean, they obviously know this. Like people have said this for 10 years plus that people love cosmetics, people love like player housing, like people love this stuff. Like it's not like this is unknown to them, and so for some reason they have not wanted to. I am assuming it's like super expensive to like hire more artists to actually do this, but the opportunity has clearly been there for a long time and they haven't made that decision. So I don't know like why I would expect it to suddenly change.
No, I'm not expecting them to. I'm just saying I think it would help a lot with player retention if there was like a lot more stuff to like farm like this. If you want all these like cool mounts from like old expansions and stuff, like in Final Fantasy, there's so many mounts and so many things that people just farm in old expansions all the time. In WoW, there's no real incentive to do that. Maybe like
people
you'll
still do it. I
ICC
mean,
for
that's
Invincible and stuff. But
I mean, I remember Tally like he farmed mounts for like years and years, like at the end of WoD, like all through Legion, and like there's apparently a huge player base that does it, even though they're much worse than the Final Fantasy ones. So people still do it. I agree though that more would do it, but
I guess whether or not the like quality is good, it's like people like to check boxes, right? So
yeah, it's
if
like
if
like
your
kitchen.
mount number goes up, yeah, or achievement points go up, or whatever it is, you just like to see number go up.
Does Final Fantasy have achievement type stuff, like achievement
Yeah.
points? They have a whole like point system and everything.
Yeah, it's pretty similar to WoW's. Actually, a lot more. It's not. They don't have as much like silly. Like the WoW achievements are generally more fun. Final Fantasy are mostly just like get X number in X thing. Where WoWs are sometimes like do this goofy mechanic to get this achievement. So WoWs are generally more fun, like achievement wise.
I mean, everything I've seen from PTR, like for 9.2 though, so like a lot of the actions definitely seem like if at any point in WoW they have been open to listening to player feedback, now is like the time to put your suggestions forward, because they appear to actually be like quickly acting on stuff. And I mean, I wouldn't get my hopes up because they can certainly disappoint still, but like they very clearly are like reading either subreddit stuff in some cases or like prominent WoW players' tweets, stuff like that. Like, a lot of that doesn't seem coincidental that it got changed so fast.
Yeah, I mean the fact that they like the day that the patch was pushed to PTR, or are you saying we're changing this shit?
All the tier
As
sets and
opposed-
stuff.
Yeah, on the tier sets, like they haven't even put out class changes yet, and they're already changing.
To be fair,
stuff.
it's not even. So it seems like with the information we have that that's what happened. Like they put out the patch kind of accidentally early, and people saw it and were like, "Oh my God, these are awful!" And so now when they're finally back, they go change them. For all we know, it could be that first version of the patch is like actually kind of old, but they had to push that version first, and in the next one they already had changes in, and maybe that's how it's worked in the past, and the only difference this time around is that they communicated that earlier, that they'd already changed it and were working on them.
That is true. Yeah.
So that's why when I say like this stuff is hard, if not impossible, to like actually interpret and figure out, that's what I mean. Like, unless you know their actual like development cycle intimately and how it works there, like a lot of these situations can play out 10 different ways. And it appears the same to us.
Yeah.
Sounds like something Blizzard employee would say.
It's
who knows, man.
It's like they know that like the tier sets are the thing I think we're kind of mostly talking about right now. Like they know when like the only problem is like why do they design them in the first place? Like
that's why I feel like
it's so weird.
I mean, I think it's obvious they don't have like. Maybe it's not obvious. I think it feels like they have, let's say, 5, like, I don't even know what you would classify them as, but like 5 people, let's say, that work, not even necessarily class designers, but people that are working on like, let's just call them class designers for lack of a better thing. And so they have 5 people working on, what is it, 12 classes? I always forget.
Yeah.
And so
5 each or 5 people across all.
Let's say 5 people total, and obviously that's a totally made up number.
Right.
But like, it makes sense to me if you have those 5 people, they all probably play WoW, and just by sheer like happenstance, they picked classes to play themselves, and they happen to know those classes better than some of the other ones they have to work on. And so they like work and know all of them pretty well, but they don't know everything and like every tiny minutia about every single class. And so I feel like it is probably possible that out of the, 36 spec class combos, I don't actually know the number, it's somewhere around there. But out of all that, if you have a small enough team, which I feel like they probably do, then you can have a handful of bonuses and tier sets, since in the past, at least, they were doing them every single tier, and now they're just getting back into them, so there's some inertia kind of in place that they miss because they don't know the like current meta of a class. And maybe they should, but they also have like a finite amount of time. So, like for the first set, it's certainly possible that they don't know Resto Druid, let's say, and so they put in something that they think is a good idea, but they don't know the class that well, and they know going later on, if it gets terrible feedback, if another developer comes to them and says, hey, this like doesn't work very well because they don't play this way right now, they can change it, but they have to like get a set in place for the patch date that's set in, or the PTR date that's set in.
And then like internally they figured out, because like some like
so like
the
they
one
don't.
that sticks out to me is Brewmaster, right? Because that one is like the worst one I've seen. So
Yeah,
like
I mean that
like,
one's all good.
I would say it's likely that like whoever developed it in the first place doesn't play Brewmaster, and then somebody like looked at these and was like, oh god, I'm coughing.
Why would he be coughing though?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so it's just like some random other guy at the company just like sees the tier set, and he's just like, this sucks, we need to change this internally, but we already have to, the one we already submitted we have to go with because we haven't redesigned it yet. So you're saying like, instead of listening to outside feedback from like player feedback, a lot of the feedback could be internal from just other people like looking at stuff, but they've already like, oh, this is the one we're going with for the patch. but we know we have to change it after.
Yeah. I mean, in theory, that could be happening. I'm not saying that is what's happening. I'm saying I can easily see that being the case.
Okay.
Because, so, I have like a very cursory understanding of how Brewmaster Monk works. Obviously, I've never played it. But to my mind, if you just know very little to nothing about the class, you can see, okay, so monks, like they want to have shuffle up all the time, and their brews are super important. So if I know nothing about it, I
Yeah,
can
it
like
kinda makes
squint
sense.
and see that bonus might be good. Obviously, it's not,
Right.
but like if you don't specialize in that class, then shit happens.
Yeah, and it's the same with like the Resto Shaman and Resto Druid ones, where it's like, oh, Spirit Link's a good button. They want to get the cooldown reduced on that. That makes sense. And then Swiftmen's like, oh, this heals for a lot. Let's add some utility to it, or whatever they added to Swiftmen for Resto Druid.
Yep. And that's why like every time we talk about like game dev stuff, it is like it all boils down to their manpower resources essentially. And
Yeah.
like how many people they have working on these things.
Because if they had like, obviously it's not feasible, but if they had like 36 class designers, like one person on each spec, like all the tier sets would hit. There's no way they don't. If they have one person
Yeah.
just solely focused
They
on
would be much more likely to hit, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because a lot of it comes down to they said in the Resto Shaman post, they have an idea for what they want the tier set to do. In this case, it was like they want Resto Shaman to press chain heal more. The problem was just that they didn't do it in the right way. But like they had, because if you think about it, like if they have more people, it's going to mean that each person, like they know what buttons they'll want you to hit more. Because like I know as a rogue, like what shit I want to press more.
Right, I mean, the tier sets are kind of supposed to change what you want to press to an extent.
And that's the thing. It's like, you like I think about like, oh man, I wish that this ability did more or something.
And it's not even just that. Like you have to know the spec well enough to know potential interactions that aren't a thing right now that with a minor tweak could be a thing that then flows into something else the spec has that buffs that. Like the interactions are not immediately apparent in some of the cases.
Yeah, that's another big thing.
Especially with classes like Rogue.
Yep, Rogue has that. That was something that people were looking at with the tier set, wondering like what it interacts with. Something that Warriors, I've seen what you said.
I was so disappointed trying to test those today, Illy. I can't believe yours worked and neither of mine worked.
Oh,
I think the Warrior one was just they overlooked the talent. They didn't know it did that.
Yeah, that's fair. That or they wanted it to. I mean, the Rogue one is
There's
kind of
no
fucking
way.
unreal, to be honest. Like,
I saw Max testing it for a bit. It looked pretty nuts.
It's. I mean, you're gonna in like an actual fight. Like, if I went to Guardian right now with that tier set, I'd probably have like unbelievable uptime on Shadow Blades, like just extremely high. And that's just all. I had multiple times where just like killing one enemy and getting a full set of combo points back, which is really nutty. Like I hope that they don't nerf that one too much if they end up nerfing it, because it really hit in terms of being fun and good, especially because like there's legendaries that are going to make it even stronger.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, so like Aiden knows Monk about as well as you can know Monk. And so like when something is put in and it doesn't make sense, like Aiden can spot that right away. But like there's so many interactions with like all the covenants now, all the potential legendaries, all the talents, many of which are dead normally, but may not be depending on stuff like tier set changes. And so like if you have a relatively small team, like I think they do, doing this specific stuff, like that's a lot of interactions that maybe if you have the time to like look at each thing are obvious, but when you're time crunched and behind, like it makes some sense.
Yeah.
And because there's no way they actually have 36 people doing
no,
one
I
person.
can't. So my best guess for how like the WoW like actual dev team is divided, so not like any of the kind of business people within the WoW department. My guess is it's probably like fully at least a third are like back-end development, so like server guys, people working on like core art infrastructure of the game. And I'm guessing a third is maybe a little low. And then I would bet it's at least a third doing like artist stuff, so like all textures, like tier models, like new game models, like new game, whatever they call them, skeletons, stuff like that. And then I'm guessing the last third is like all the other stuff, and that's all the stuff that we pay attention to, and that like does not seem like that many people. I think total that is probably under, I think last I heard, like this was before they hired a ton of people, I think the WoW team was like under 1,000 for this sort of stuff, so that'd be like maybe 300 people working on all that, which is not that many. Like for a game this size.
Yeah, that's pretty small.
And I could be like fairly off on that estimate, but I think proportion wise I would not be super far off. And so if you want to produce a better quality game, I mean, it's not a surefire thing, but the way to do it is to hire more people.
That's less money for Bobby Kotick.
It's true. Less money for old Bobby. Although I heard, who was it? Coca-Cola was after him or something?
Yeah, Coca-Cola.
Nintendo said something about him too.
I saw Nintendo, yeah.
Some of this, like, I don't remember what states, but there were a bunch of states that had, like, they wanted to meet with Activision because they're, like, as investors, they're kind of concerned about that, which is honestly good because, like, if the fucking the only thing that really matters to these kinds of companies is the investors. So, like, if the investors are concerned about something like this, that's a ton of money lost. So they're probably going to have to do something about it to address them.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely gotten more interesting recently. So the thing I see as like somewhat likely to happen though is that eventually, not immediately, he's like forced to step down in some way.
Yeah.
And say that happens, the WoW community is essentially going to expect change to happen way more rapidly than it's actually going to happen just because he steps down. And I'm sorry, that's just not going to happen.
Yeah, that's how this kind of thing works.
It'll change, and it might change like a decent amount, but it's not going to be fast. You're trying to overhaul a like 20+ year company culture that like the whole company is like what, 10,000-12,000 people?
I don't know the numbers, but that sounds probably about right.
So as much as like I don't know that Bobby Kotick is like a great CEO, maybe he is though, I have no idea. But just simply removing him is not gonna like magically fix WoW.
Yeah.
I wasn't implying that. I was just saying.
No, I'm not saying you were. I'm saying I think a lot of people have that impression though.
Okay. Yeah, I just think
like you take him out and we're good.
Hungry all the time is kind of my point, in that anything that they can do to retain their money is the #1 priority.
Yeah, that's what I was.
No, I'm fully with you on that. I'm not trying to defend dear old Bobby.
Bobby Kotick.
I'm watching Occam's do Sylvanas. And
Are they actually raiding?
Yeah, crazy, right? But they're getting to the intermission, and this hunter, whatever chain he gets attached to, that's the one he goes and hits.
What?
And
that's
it's
kind of like what you
time.
did during Prague, though. Not intermission, but like the actual chains. You had to hit the ones you were attached to.
No, I mean I would hit it if I was attached to it, but it was like I would hit the same set every time. Where this guy's just like...
Oh, he just goes around. Oh, shit.
He goes, like, he just gets attached to a random one, and then he goes and hits whatever one he's attached to, instead of having assigned cooldowns onto assigned chains.
Why can I not remember whatever their streamer's name is?
Beagle Scout.
Beagle Scout.
Hot Dog Man is now 2 out of 10.
I need to decide when to actually bring warrior into raid since I need to gear it because I don't know which I'm playing.
Next week.
Yeah, you can bring it to any. I mean, the only thing you really need it for is like Paintsmith, right?
So
Yeah.
technically, I need
Guardian.
like 3 pieces of gear to be like fully geared on Pally, but like I need a ton of gear on Growlithe, and like it totally depends on the fight, but I think Warrior's actually going to be pretty strong. So I don't know.
Can you imagine running pools on Sylvanas though, on a fucking warrior?
I still don't know how you do it. But like it's obviously done, but
I wonder if it's ever like, you think there's a single log kill of 2 Prot warriors doing Mythic Sylvanas?
2 Prot Warriors? My guess is
Jesus.
no.
Yeah.
Although I think Prot Warrior is probably like pretty beefy for like just tanking Sylvanas.
Yeah, I mean, like, Prot Warrior Monk is probably, like, insanely good, because Monk can do all the puddles, and then Prot Warrior just never gonna die to Sylvanas.
Yeah, Prot Warrior Monk would be great. I think Prot Warrior Druid is probably pretty good too.
Oh, no. Don't say that.
I mean, I feel like War's going to play Druid, like, regardless almost right now. He seems to really want to play it.
Druid's gonna be beefy.
We just need to make sure we get him a big weak aura whenever he's not in bear form that yells at him.
I haven't played Bear in a long time, but I do remember doing that occasionally when I played Bear.
Well,
but I
if you hit
then,
any-
I
if you hit
then
any
got
of
a
your
weak aura
cast
to tell
spells,
me.
like if you accidentally hit regrowth, right? Anything that requires you to be out of form, it will just take you out of form and start casting it.
And
so that's a lot of
actually-
buttons.
It actually happened. I saw Now was practicing for Great Push, and he was playing Guardian Druid, and he did it during that. So I was like, I don't feel quite as bad.
And it's not like you can just disable all that stuff, because that's kind of one of the things that makes Guardian good, is being able to shift out and do other things every now and then.
Yeah.
I mean, I think other than the like almost inevitable fight every tier that grip is like very useful, Guardian's probably more utility for the raid, and I think it might be more damaged this next tier.
It's also it's going to be really good, because
also-
you can go Kyrian and you can get like basically an extra power infusion, or like a minute cooldown power infusion.
It's also almost always tankier than Blood Decay.
I mean, Blood Decay is pretty tanky. So there's like specific fights where Blood Decay is not super tanky, but it's mainly stuff where like they overlooked that like some big raid damage is labeled as environmental or something, and it doesn't apply to Death Strike, is like how it ends up happening.
Okay.
And honestly, like, I know people like to rag on Wara, but he's a pretty good Blood Decay. Like, he's definitely
He's
well
good at
above
Blood Decay,
average.
yeah. He's really good at
I
Blood
don't think
Decay.
anyone thinks he's a bad player.
No.
There's just a lot of other dumb shit that he does.
That is undeniable. But
He's pretty sick at Blood Decay, especially like
this week's raid was illustration that Wara is far from the only one to do lots of dumb stuff during raid.
Well, the problem is, like, during fights, he's not even really ever a liability. I don't think it's like stuff he does, like clearing trash outside of raid, not prepping his character. But like when we're actually in, he doesn't like die a lot. He doesn't really make a lot of mistakes. I don't think that's anyone's issues with him at all.
He was fine on prep, like when we were actually progging this tier. He wasn't like the most geared character, but he was not like behind like he was last year. And it's my understanding, like, most of the last tier stuff was because of his school schedule. Because he has generally been much more kept up this tier. Not that that's an excuse, but...
No, I mean, that's kind of an excuse. It makes sense.
All I'm saying is, I generally... Like, I think Blood Decay, in some ways, is, like, one of the harder tanks to like tank hard stuff on, just because like if you're bad at it you can really easily die because you're like a wet noodle.
Yeah.
And I think he's generally very good at it, and like he's a pretty good tank when he's paying attention, which during Prague, he almost always is. It's a lot of qualifications there, but
It was funny to watch early Painsmith and see Wara just running ahead of everybody and baiting fire.
Yeah, I was doing that like on the first few
Dude,
pulls as well.
yeah, that was so funny.
Wara was like, "Why?" Yeah, Wara and Aiden both like, "Why is everybody dying? Why is this so hard?"
I remember I was up there with Keats and Illy too. Like,
Yeah,
we were
I
all
was
up
just
there.
like, yeah, this is easy.
I mean, that's just because, like, individually, it's easier to do it that way.
Yeah, but
You just don't realize
as
on
soon
the
as you
first few
realize
pulls.
that, yeah, as soon as you realize that it is actually way harder for anyone who's not able to catch up with you, it instantly becomes difficult because, like, that's the actual like challenge of it.
I don't get the impression there's any fight like a Painsmith fight, but I kind of wish they had, like, another big, like, the room is the enemy fight, but obviously
Yeah.
like, another variation on it.
Mechanic fights are fun.
I just don't. Man, I just don't want a boss that I have to pay attention to the whole time. That's the worst.
The reclaim. Oh, you never.
I feel like this raid
bosses
stresses
like
you.
that, though.
This raid stresses you out or something.
No,
Aiden.
it's just Painsmith, honestly. It's I get annoyed
You
with
would
a lot
have
of the
hated
wipes
to.
on easy stuff, but like Painsmith, it's just like I have to pay attention the whole time, and it's annoying because like not everyone's doing it. So I'm paying attention, and then we wipe because someone's not paying attention. And then next pull, I gotta like hyper focus, pay attention the whole time, and we wipe because someone else isn't paying attention.
It is mentally
It
exhausting.
is the Zoid. It's like the Zoid speech he gives every tier. It's like Zoid when he talked about the 95% chance of doing, you know,
Oh,
your,
yeah, I mean, if you
your
have
skip on
99%
I.
chance
It's
of
it's
doing-
that on every single fight.
If you, yeah, I mean, 99% chance of doing it right. It's something. I think it's like a 18% chance of screwing it up every single time. So if you think about that, like just with the spikes happening 50 times in a pull, like someone's gonna fuck it up and die. Which
Yeah.
is exactly what happens every single pull.
I mean, that is unironically like a huge part of Mythic raiding difficulty, like the sheer size of the raid.
Yeah, I mean, it's one that it's like talking about the old NES game. If you think about how easy Mythic raiding would be for any of us, even the absolute worst of us, if you were the only person in the raid. Like if you basically the other 19 were bots who did exactly everything right every time.
I mean, I think
the
every,
raiding
like,
would be trivial.
That's the dream, man.
the hardest bosses in the game would be like 5 pull bosses. I think, like nothing would be challenging if the bots already knew how to do everything. I guess if you had to like set everything up and tell the bots what to do, it would be a little different. Like if you're literally just like if you're like the bots are raid leading basically, and you're just like one raider in the raid, I think you kill every boss in like 5 pulls.
Oh, yeah.
Every difficulty.
If all you had to do is just figure out your own role.
Yeah.
That's what we see with a lot of things. You know, we had, I think I've got maybe 15, 20 pulls on Sylvanas, and
Yeah, and like
Ellie
killed it in,
had
like,
one.
two pulls on like his third pull. He killed the boss, so that's basically what that is, right? It's like, I mean, we're not perfect even. It's the thing, so it'd probably be even faster if we were all playing perfect the whole time.
I mean, it's just not the type of game that has like. So it's not like Dark Souls where the combat would allow you to have these sort of like dodge, like the very narrow window, like dodge or you die type mechanics. Like WoW, I just don't think like almost fundamentally is set up to do stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, like what would you say, whatever the hard part of raiding is like dealing with the 20 other people, or the fact that there are 20 people. Because individually, there's nothing that's that insanely hard ever.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not, to me, like, that does not feel like artificial difficulty, because...
No,
like,
I don't think it is. No.
that sort of thing is what makes all sorts of stuff in life complicated, is the fact that you have to do it with other people.
I mean, obviously we all enjoy it, or we wouldn't be playing it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man, but if they... you know, the single best decision they made in, like, WoW's history was to drop raids from the 40-man raid size.
That's
like,
way too much.
I think WoW would have died if they kept it at 40-man rating.
40 is too, 40 is a mess.
It's too many, it's too hard to field a raid one, but it just does not work. Like, the rating would have gotten way more stale because just you cannot do stuff with a raid that big and like tune it hard or make it too complex because then it's just a laggy shit show. Like, can you imagine doing some of these bosses with 40 people?
Also,
Sylvanas with 40 people, you wouldn't. It would be like the night where Val fucked up the instance.
trying to like coordinate cooldowns and stuff with 40 people. Like you'll have like 8 to 10 healers in a 40-man raid. Like trying to assign all that and then like DPS cooldowns in specific spots. There's just so much setup in a 40-man raid. If there has like you wouldn't even get to raid. You'd just be setting stuff up the entire night.
You'd be setting stuff up. You would have to be like have to be like Scriper or Max, like to actually effectively raid lead.
Yeah.
And since nobody is going to be like that except a tiny, like handful, the raids would be like Molten Core. Like they would not get much more complex. I mean, you see how difficult like what Nexramas was. It was not that difficult.
I think people underestimate how much early WoW required outside prep though. Like you had to get all the rights. You had to get all the stuff. You had to get 8 prot warriors.
You did, but a lot of this stuff they do on like the classic servers is like totally unnecessary. Like we didn't do half of that. We did like a ton of prep, but we didn't do half that stuff that they do. Like the most we ever did was getting like world buffs and stuff for Lothab, and that was like the peak of our like going around and getting just insane stuff to kill a boss. But they do all sorts of stuff in classic seasons now.
Well, less so because world buffs don't work there anymore. So like all you can do.
Oh yeah, in the mastery season, yeah, they turn them off.
Like you're still gonna need to farm frost and shadow resist and shit, but that's it.
And I have never watched a guild do classic like 4 horsemen, but I am guessing they don't do it with 8 tanks anymore. My guess
I think
is they
you
do
can
it
do it
with
with
like,
6.
Yeah, I was gonna say they probably do it with 5 or 6.
Well, they might need the set bonus to, if you're worried about a taunt missing. Otherwise, like, okay, just run it back.
I don't know.
I don't actually know. I don't actually know that you need it in this day and age, which to you is gonna like clip and take out of context and use it against me at some point. But
if you need what?
So the deal was
it's back in the day.
Yeah, taunt could miss.
I don't know
you got
if
a
you
set
need-
bonus that made it so it couldn't miss.
I don't
And
know, Grouse.
so-
I don't know if you need a shout right now. Maybe
So
you don't.
everybody was just bad back then. Like your connections were bad, like the players were bad, your computers were bad, and so in order to like have some odds of making the tanking work, you had to have 8 tanks that all had the bonus. But in this day and age, like most of that stuff is not an issue anymore. So you can kind of like if a taunt misses, I am guessing you can probably play around it.
Or you don't have all 8 of them to go deep prot.
I don't even know if they. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's like a Fury like prot spec that they tank in. Although I don't know with the like mastery season since bosses are tuned differently. Hey, they actually got to phase 2. Is this like one of the first times?
No, they've gotten to phase 2 a couple times. They've never gotten to the first Sylvanas burn.
How many pulls you got?
Too many.
This is the first time I've watched them in like 3 weeks or something. So
They're like awful at diagnosing problems. It's insane. They'll like wipe to the same thing over and over and never change anything and just hope they get lucky.
Oh my god, their SLG prog was so painful to watch because of that. They basically spent a month at the end of it waiting for the perfect pull, and they finally got it.
Did you hear what I said earlier about how the hunter was doing chains in the intermission wall?
Yeah, he would only target the one that he was getting dragged to.
Yeah, and I'd imagine there's a lot of people doing that. Like, I don't think they have any kind of system set up, so it's just...
I mean, I'm still not assigned to that intermission because I wasn't in for prog, so I'm just kind of YOLOing it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we have probably most people assigned, because the boomkins kind of carry a lot of it.
Yeah, and then you, the lead attack.
Yeah.
that is kind of my. Like, I realize when we swap people in that there's like 2 to 4 people that weren't in originally and aren't assigned. But I figure at this point, most of the time, like everybody that was will carry. But I guess sometimes that is not the case for sure.
Most people, I mean, like,
when one of the people
I
who
aren't going to do a
are
whole lot.
out, you have to choice.
It's like both of us have to stand in hard cast to do very much, which is not easy to get tracked by chains. And you usually have 2 or 3 boomkins and 80 and an Elisham. Yeah, and usually a hunter.
I mean, am I even supposed to be attempting to get hooked to a specific set with positioning? Because I'm just going to go look at that too.
Generally,
I think Lizzie was a muting one, right? Did they have to win a muting?
Yes, and like I think the only people that are trying to get attached to specific ones are the healers.
Yeah, I try to specifically not get attached to the one that I know I'm killing, because I don't want to get dragged into it.
Which one do you kill? Do you kill middle or the healer pack?
I kill the healer one, the one's like behind us.
So you just like go up towards middle?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, they definitely aren't great at diagnosing stuff, but that is, I like understand why Echo and Limit have evolved to having analysts outside the raid, because it just feels so bad to have to sit there between pulls and take like 5 to 10 minutes or more to like figure something out.
Yeah.
Especially when you're pretty sure it's a fluke, but you gotta make sure.
Exactly. So like most of the time it probably comes to nothing. It was like some random thing that like you can't really do anything to fix. And so you just waste, 10 minutes or whatever. But then every once in a while, turns out you could have fixed it and you spend like 10 pulls figuring that out. So
I just want another 180.
I like that boss.
I did. It was like as frustrating as it could be. It at least was comical that it would be going great, and then everyone would die.
Did you ever do Maiden and Tomb, Aiden?
No.
You and Illy and Pip might have enjoyed that boss.
I'd have enjoyed every boss in Tomb. Every one.
Varamathos also sucked.
That one sucked for just... I mean, positioning on...
half yard out of position.
Yeah, positioning on Maiden was like precise, but not that precise. Positioning on Varamathos, I spent like 10 minutes putting marks down. Like, that was just overboard.
Yeah, that fight was stupid.
Well, and it's like, oh, I didn't get enough procs this time. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I'm not gonna be able to kill the ad fast enough.
Oh, that's right, mages. I remember that.
Yeah, mages were
mages
OP
and
on
trial.
Us and Ellie Shaman, we had to like save all our charges and procs.
Yeah, I felt bad for you guys, the mages.
Well, no, because it meant I was munching so many, just spamming Frostbolt into the boss, waiting for stuff to spawn.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of those, like, that boss is cool in, like, design theory. It just played out so poorly.
Well, they made the ads themselves too punishing, so like you couldn't actually really play around them. Like I that's one of those bosses where I really want to like sit down with developers and ask what was the intended strat here, and because I feel like it can't be what we ultimately
It can't be to obliterate 30 million health in 3 seconds. Is it 2.5 seconds cast?
I think it was a 3-second cast.
You had so little time to do it. Like I couldn't. That was one of those fights I remember thinking, oh, I can go Distro for this. Nope, because Chaos Bolt would fly too slowly. If you hit them, you couldn't actually go Distro.
You know, I had to instant flurry Ice Lance.
So I mean, in my mind, when I'm thinking about how that fight works, so I imagine they design it. They have the. I'm gonna draw a blank, and I'm not in game to like see the name of the mechanic. So whatever the mechanic was called, where you like have to go out, you spread, and you drop your debuffs or whatever, and do that. That is, I think, in my mind, the like Genesis idea of the fight. And so they design that mechanic, and then you have the boss that has like the tank mechanic, and it's just a patchwork fight. So then they probably think, well, we have to have something for DPS to do. And so like a obvious common thing is you add like some ad that needs to be killed. And so then they end up tying that to like your Alone in the Darkness or whatever it's called. And so that's where I think they came up with the ads. And in my mind, they thought so little was going on for DPS in the rest of the fight that they had to make that ad important and like difficult to deal with. And they obviously missed the mark some, but like I think if they make it so you can like hit it with an ice lance and it's dead, that you go too far in the other direction.
No, I think they needed to make the cast slower or interrupt.
You could make the cast slower. I think if you make it interruptible, it's just a non-mechanic though.
Not when you have 5 of them.
I think it should have had more.
Did we ever have 5 of them though?
No, but like
interruptible and way more health.
Yeah. Like you still have to kill it. You can't just ignore it forever.
I think generally when they make a mythic like ad that needs to be dealt with, if you make it interruptible, it's just going to be a non-mechanic because groups are too good. It's why they did the non-interruptible on the Despair cast in Fate's Scribe. I like increasing the cast time more than.
Yeah, in that case, like make it a 5-minute cast or something.
Use the health.
So, how did that fight actually work? That you guys needed to go out with your little group or whatever and have it bounce to the tank or an immunity or whatever people did?
Because so you needed to the radius that the plague would spread when it dispelled was slightly larger than the distance you had to be to someone to not spawn an ad.
Okay. So why do you...
So 2 people would go out with a tank. They would spread in like a little T formation. So then the tank would get 2 plagues, but no ads would be spawned while you guys were going out and doing it. And then right before the tank had his plagues dispel, he would leap out, spawn 1 ad, get rid of his plagues, and then there's no more plague stacks, and then just kill that 1 ad.
Okay, so you could have done it, in theory, like having the 2 plague guys both just spawn an ad and you have 2 ads up at a time?
But you wouldn't be able to kill both of them fast enough.
Right, there's no way.
If they finish their cast, they put a permanent purple poop pool under the raid, which just like fucks your left and right stuff that you were doing on Greater Mathis.
I wonder, I mean, that could have been part of the intentional design, right? Is to like have those things filling up. Yeah.
So yes,
because the Greater Mathis' mechanic, like there was another mechanic, Torrent of Shadows, where you take shadow damage. So it's like at some point they wanted, because the pools would spawn whenever you take shadow damage.
No, and
the pools would spawn from the ads cast. Ads would spawn when you were alone and took shadow damage.
If you did the mechanic, if you did it the way like most guilds did it, I don't think you could have ever got a single pool.
Correct.
But I'm saying like maybe the intentional design was to fill up the room with pools and move the boss around.
That might have been.
The way the tank mechanic worked would make that extremely hard, because tanks just because of it wasn't a knockback, but it was a weird. It was like a frontal tank mechanic. Did it not?
Well, the
I don't
angle
remember
for
it knocking back.
What was the? That's what it was. It knocks you around. Because I remember when I fucking did this shit.
It was a frontal cone that the angle of it was just small enough that the tanks could actually spread. But it was like super tight. If you were off really at all, the other tank was going to get hit.
Could you just have one tank in front, but like stand very close to the center of the boss, and have the other tank behind, but also stand close to the center of the boss? Or does that not work?
Let me actually look at the
We tried a whole lot of different things. I remember we spent a ton of time on heroic just trying to get the tank positioning right.
Like that, I don't really know all. Like I know the fight on heroic. I don't really like. I've seen videos of it on Mythic, but I don't actually understand how it entirely works.
Who was off then? Was that a war at the time?
That was the tier we got Wara, so I don't remember if he was tanking yet or not.
Rick started tanking that tier.
I think Rick started and Wara started tanking like around that boss. Because he was still DPS at that point.
Oh.
But he like had swapped over to full-time tanking by Agrimar, so. Which was next boss? No,
2 bosses.
There was Coven between.
Coven we got super fast though.
I feel like Coven's like like Dark Vein, where it's like the boss is more interesting on heroic than mythic.
Sad.
And that's like a very small difference. The fact that it's
Scripted.
it's scripted because they thought it was going to be too hard if it was random, but it turns out it's the opposite.
It was way too easy.
That boss would also be a lot easier now because the kick recoils have gotten so much better. Because the main way we wiped on that boss was one of the mythic ones had that kick thing you had to do, and I had to sit there and call out kicks the entire time.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I remember that.
And we have bosses where you have to kick 5 things at the same time.
Yep. When the tools get easier, the fights have to go harder.
Yeah. That one actually doesn't even really work that well. It's just not the ads don't mark properly on kill design, so it's kind of random YOLO picks.
I just kind of tuned it out at this point now. When it fucking orange like really big.
I mean, I took the tank ad things off the weak or even at this point.
No, yeah, because nobody does them.
The
I just
animation
always go
ones,
to the one
though,
furthest
indeed.
left every time. Yeah, the intermission ones are definitely good, and those ones get marked, and we need some kind of system for them, for sure. This guy just walked into a ride. Did you see that, Carlos?
Oh no, I actually tabbed into game to look at Varimathras stuff.
He just was like rapid firing and just didn't move out of a rive. It was very weird.
How do you die during rapid fire? You can move.
This is the bane of our reclears. What do you mean? People are
Rive?
No, not Rive. It's people trying to finish a cast. And
God, somebody. I think it was Life died, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, I was greeting." Why are you fucking greeting?
He admitted it, but essentially every caster in Raid did it this
Not
week.
Me. Not me.
Except Rice.
Oh, Rice, you missed it. I got, while we were doing the 9, I got fragments every ramp on Demolock. On the 9.
Oh wait, today? Just now?
Just now, the first pull.
I had like 3 in a row, and it was during my cooldown both 2 times, and the other time it was like when I needed to soak.
Yeah, I had 5 fragments in a row on the 9 pull, the first pull.
It doesn't help that they run it so far away.
That's when you just cry, man.
I want to throw my computer out the window.
To go the closest one and not actually.
No, that was dedicated Medicaid. I don't run with them anymore. They're dead to me.
That's the biggest why Warlock goes.
They're dedicated.
Nah.
Dedicated.
How much? What's the recommended amount of dedicated WAM I would need to server?
So you started off trying to say that normally, and then you like leaned into the.
What, dedicated WAM?
Okay, maybe you
I'm
didn't,
confused
but
now I don't know what's happening.
That's Illy's new alt.
Wait,
No,
is
it's a
it
bit.
really?
No.
Oh, it's
What?
okay. It's a bit that I didn't know about. Then never mind. I thought Aiden like fucked up the pronunciation, but he was like, "No, I'm just gonna do this for the rest of the sentence to make it even funnier." That's what I thought he was doing.
I was just quoting this.
Growlers.
Yes.
So when I was like flying back here, I had to have like the most patience because like my parents are like 60, and like they get so confused with like using apps and shit, like going to the airport. I'm like, just like please just follow me what I'm doing, because like I'm literally trying to like get us through here less painful as possible, and they're doing so much random shit I cannot control. I'm just like, fuck, man. Fucking boomer.
It's gonna be.
I
to you
love that
soon.
commercial. That one that's like
The Geico one.
the Geico one, like don't turn into your parents. And they're in the airport. I love that commercial
Oh, that's funny, yeah.
because all those things people are doing, like, yeah, you should bring your own snacks. Yeah,
But-
like should have shown up sooner.
But it's gonna happen to all of us. It's just gonna happen to you and Zoid first. because as you get older, you just give progressively fewer fucks about learning like the new popular thing. You're like, nah, this doesn't seem worth it to me.
I still don't understand
At some
Twitter.
point, you just pick up on fewer and fewer of them, and suddenly you don't know how to do stuff.
That meme is true now. It's not a meme. It must be the children who are wrong. That is actually what I think now. It's like, no, this is dumb. The children are wrong.
It took like 4 hours for them to check in. I'm just like, holy fuck. It took me an hour.
That seems excessive, yeah.
And then my dad didn't read the fine print, and I almost didn't get to Canada because like the 72-hour COVID testing thing expired on our connecting flight. So I had to plead to the dudes checking it. Just like, please, it's just like 3 hours. I was just like, oh, god damn it.
I feel so bad for that girl, Aiden.
For what girl?
The one in the clip you linked.
Oh, so funny.
It is funny, but I feel bad because I think she has like a speech impediment, is what I would imagine.
I heard that's a boy talking.
Is it? I mean, maybe.
don't
I'm
know.
not sure.
Next question on this left side.
Super Kai 64.
I was wondering, what's the recommended amount of detonated wham?
Oh, we're also watching Beagle Scout.
It's a thing I linked in off topic. It's the YouTube video.
I'm sorry, could you please repeat your question?
Detonated wham to a server. If you're running off of
Like after he asked the question, like his eyes when he looks at them, like he just looks like a lost puppy or something.
And then the one like panelist on the right, I think, like he starts laughing.
Mythic Sylv, day 3. Wait, I was gone for like 2 weeks.
Wait, this is only their 3rd day on it? How is that
Well,
possible?
It's their 3rd day this week.
Mm-hmm. That has to be what that means, right? Because I feel like they've been there for like 4 weeks at this point.
Well, he says after Turkey week break, back to Mythic Sylvanas day 3. Yeah, it's a weird title.
Why did they gate to bait?
I feel like there should be a nerf on this boss soon, right?
Sylvanas?
I would think.
Oh, why did it?
Some nerf, didn't she?
She did, but I mean, I feel like she needs another nerf for a lot of
No,
the
she
guild's
does, yeah.
doing her now.
She does.
How did that guy died? How did that guy die? The Beagle Scout. Oh, they're all dying. Never mind. Wait, have they not gone to past phase 1?
Aiden said they are getting some phase 2 pulls now, and I think I saw one.
What are these locks doing? They're like AFK. Tanks out damaging them.
I feel like that mage of theirs is good, although I think Fuzzy may have said otherwise at some point.
Phase 1. I mean, phase 1 is just bad, girls.
Do they still have 6 hunters?
Dude, they have 4.
They have 5. Are there only 4 in tonight?
Hunter's really good for Sylvanas.
Not boss damage.
Yeah, because they have that the 50% aim shot damage, above 70%
Yeah, 50%
health.
above 30%.
I feel like it's good for stuff that doesn't matter in the fight, though. It's
I
like
guess
good
so.
on
It's for like
chains.
phase 1 and phase 2. Yeah,
Yeah, it's good on
Matters.
ads and intermission, or phase 2.
it's not good for phase 3, right?
Mm-mm.
Still got to get there, you know. Especially I feel like on a fight like Sylvanas where it's so freaking long, it's classes that get you there are still fairly important.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely true, but if you like get to the end and you have, like, I don't think the world first guilds were killing it with a 400 and 500 comp, and if they like get there and then they're having to relearn 1 and 2 because they have to swap. It's frustrating.
Well, that's why they took their Windwalker out and they brought a Brewmaster instead, for limit at least.
Oh yeah, I'd forgotten about that.
Because they only really cared about last phase damage.
Yeah, they had to go like super maximum damage.
I remember Now played he played Seraphim. He didn't play the the 9 trinket, so he was playing like a what is it called? Whatever the quantum device. Yeah, the quantum device trinket. So he was playing like full offensive, and that just seems very scary to me because I trinket like 5 tank combos, 6 tank combos throughout the fight. And like Seraphim just seems, I don't know, man.
It's a lot of holy power to do nothing as soon as you cast it. But I remember looking at their like phase 3 breakdown, and Now was like with the rest of the DPS. Like he was like the lowest, but he was like right up there with all of them.
I would absolutely do a ton more damage, but it seems like it would be so much riskier.
Yeah, I mean
and it feels so bad to like die in the last phase because of that.
We like don't need if everyone stays alive, we have no problem needing a damage check. So
we just barely killed them. We had 3 people dead most of the phase.
Yeah.
2 DPS and a healer, right?
Yeah, you got.
While you guys were being alive.
While you guys were doing that, I was fucking out eating hot pot.
Nice.
Rub it in, Rose.
I believe he was.
Wait, I just started watching videos.
You say you're in a ping pong group, baby?
No, it really is.
Yeah.
Oh god, they're ping pong.
Oh, Nerzel.
Yeah. The first time me and
He's there too. Yeah.
First time me and
Right, Kelly Tigers left it to you so you get there faster. That's a lot of dead people.
Kelly, 100% when it's not in like our main raid, but even sometimes in our raid, will like prio to you to like.
Oh, 100%.
I'm pretty
when
sure
Kelly
when
sits,
they,
I die all the time.
When they stop raiding, to use like, Kelly, like you gotta help me out more. What are you doing?
Just imagine if she was priest. Oh, the PIs.
You think she'd be PIing you?
No,
so bad.
Because someone would call her out. That's why.
Yeah.
Keats would be like, "What the hell?"
It would 100% be Keats.
Keats is the PI police. That's how it works. Without him, where would we be? We'd still be under that phase.
I literally cannot call out PI on Marius on the start of Fate Scribe. Just like, dude, 1 PI will fix this push.
Wait, does he PI himself for Fate Scribe?
He must.
Yeah.
I think the first
why?
ramp.
Exactly.
What is he doing?
Or they're never in any fucking danger.
That's why we have a. I mean, yes, I don't know why he wants the 15-second pull timer and why he PIs himself, but I feel like it's not something worth like arguing about.
Yeah, like that's not the hill we die on there.
He probably just wants the pad. Like it's like I'm like 99% sure it's
Yes.
really wants the pad.
It has to be.
It is, because when you see the healing meters at the first Twist of Fate, he does 15k HPS.
But we don't need that.
I know.
I mean, we do need.
It's not.
So I think his initial justification was because it makes his ramp later in the fight actually line up right. But I have no idea if that's actually true.
Does he need PI for that?
No, it does. It does, but it does.
Like his last phase ramp is like very important. The one.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It does, but he definitely does not need PI though.
Okay, I'll look this up. What's like the main ability they use at ramp? Like, is it Rapture? Is that like the main thing?
I don't know. I don't even know if he plays Spirit Shell or Evenge on that side. I'm not actually sure.
Spirit Shell is the main button.
It's Rapture. It's Rapture.
It doesn't have Rapture. Rapture's not a button. Is Spirit Shell replace the Rapture?
I thought it replaced Evenge, but I know very little about this.
No, it's when you Rapture. It's when you Rapture, you put shields on everyone, and then that's where you get the atonement, and then you Radiance.
He wanted so bad to like put the new Disc Priest in and like force him to learn that fight and I'd like, yes, we do need to put him in to like see if he actually can play, but I was like, oh, please no, just let the
where is
weekend.
that guy? Is he not here this week?
He was here. We just like he was in for the stuff after Sylvanas kill, and then like eventually we sat him because we didn't want him in on like Painsmith or something, I think.
Oh yeah, Marius is pulling 15k HPS. That's
Okay, it does replace Rapture. So that's like his button, and it's a 1.5 cooldown. So he uses one right on pool, he uses one right at 130, one at like 306, and then the fourth one is like 2 minutes later. So the fourth one's not even relevant with timing.
you bet their movies.
I don't know, man.
It's literally
this
just
last
bad.
phase damage is like, you know, 2U and me and a liaison are all up there, 14k just blasting, and then there's Val up, just absolutely burying all of us.
Dude, why does like I hate when you look at the logs and you just click on P3, it like doesn't actually
No,
work.
Zoid. I didn't get. I got like.
Yeah, logging is so like disappointing sometimes with how
I had like
played
12
and like
imps.
divided up.
I had like 12 imps and I never got a proc. And I didn't want to commit a Dreadstalker because if I did do a Dreadstalker, my ramp would be like scuffed.
Ooh.
Like I had 12 imps and they all died and didn't give me a single proc. Are you fucking serious?
We had 2 DPS below Grawless in phase 3 damage.
I haven't actually looked at the damage. Was mine decent this week?
Yeah, yours like, I mean, all the there's like steps from like Illy's the lowest, then Pip, then you, then Life, then me, and it's like it's all pretty evenly spaced across all that. Well, Illy's kind of a pretty big step down below Pip. But everyone else.
Illy was like.
Oh yeah, he's on an alt.
He's also like 5%. You know, you look at Val and me at the top, and Liaison and Crimson. You know, there's a lot of damage he's gaining us.
Yeah.
How did I beat Pip? That's
Yeah, that's awful. Nice.
Pip probably got bombed twice, maybe.
I feel like
I got bombed during the final phase, so I was sad.
I feel like that's actually pretty bad for me, and it didn't feel like a very good last phase. I think I've done like 11k in last phase before.
No, I think Ellie Shaman's just really bad at like that 1 minute burst window. It's just they're just like a flat, they just like slowly creeps up. That's why they're like good.
That's good.
Phase 3 Sylvanas like Pip does a lot of damage.
Yeah, I think Pip last on that.
Yeah, because it's not a burst. Like Ellie Shaman doesn't have burst, so their damage is like if you look at like a breakdown for like a Venthyr Boomy, that's obviously the most extreme, but it's like completely like it's like 1k DPS and then it just
like
huge
really
spikes, and then Ellie Shaman is like pretty flat the entire fight. Like there's not really any spikes.
Like Ellie Shaman's just.
I'm really hoping that the Necro demo with Bale Spiders becomes a thing next year. That's so nice and flat. You get your burst with the Demon Bolt. It's like so nice and sustained. Really good burst if you really need it.
I am excited to see which classes actually like change, like either change covenants or like legendaries. Hopefully, a good amount of them do.
It's one of my favorite parts about Legion demo. It's just like really high sustained single target all the time.
I heard apparently once Prop Alley set actually works, like Kyrian Prop Alley is going to be even more insane in keys.
I just want to see that machine gun.
Yo,
judgment.
one's your 20s, Aiden. What the fuck?
What? Oh, it's CXO?
Broad
We're doing withdrawals right?
Don't make me mad. No.
You just need like, you know, 2 or 3 on 20 at this point. You probably need 2K.
Yeah, but we have to time it to do that probably.
Oh, you got like 280 points for that scuff top.
Maybe, yeah, actually. Maybe it's fine.
It doesn't. So the Blizzard scoring doesn't penalize you anywhere near as much as Ultimate Royal for not timing.
Yeah. It's more like it's a steady decrease, and then if you hit a certain point, it's just actually 0.
Yeah, pretty much. But I feel like if you're 30 seconds over the timer,
it's basically like you timed it.
It's it's only a couple points below the timer.
Why am I this Twitch stream? This Beagle Scout guy. they're talking so much and they're wiping fights.
Bro, they wipe on the intermission. They don't have any plan for the intermission. It's just like they do random shit and hope it works.
I feel like the intermission was so easy to plan too. We did it like we got there like 1 or 2 pulls. We realized that you had to plan something, and within like 2 pulls, it was almost it was as good as basically it is now.
It doesn't even have to be like, you don't have to like optimize it super well. You just kind of put like 4 people here, 4 people here, 4 people here, and then it's fine. Like it doesn't really matter who's where, just pick spots for them, so everyone's going consistently.
I feel like I just get PTSD watching this like fight Prague though.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they're fucking up the push timing. Oh my god, he just stood in those. What the hell?
Everyone just stood on those. What
I think everybody stood in them.
Bro, also they get hit by the explosion a lot. Like someone just gets dragged into their chain immediately every time.
Well, I think, was that an immediate chain pull-in? I thought that was just the woe totally fucked them.
It was the woe because it was
Calamity.
the woe 'cause they were all
looking at this thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Calamity. But they were already low from
How is that
sitting
even-
in all the.
Yeah, something seems off there other than the Calamity chain. I mean, it could be them just standing in the pool right before.
Yeah, it was the the pool first got them all low, but like they got low because of the darkness. But then woe got them really really low, and then they linked, and then someone ate an arrow.
Billy's not in here anymore, is he?
I never left.
Where'd he go? Do you know what time raid testing is tomorrow?
No, I did not work actually. I could do that.
Are you gonna do a cross?
I'm not gonna do it, but I'll probably have it on like a second monitor during the day.
I might watch it while I'm doing.
Although I don't know actually who's streaming it. I think Limit probably will do.
Max said he's not.
He's not. Well,
Yeah, he's
that's
not.
unfortunate.
5, 4.
Because I don't think Salute streams them anymore with BDGG or whatever they are.
You could probably find some random streams doing it though. Like maybe it's not a big like name, but some guy with
I'm sure
viewers is
somebody will
probably
be doing it.
Someone gave Illy PI on Sky.
Is she on her freestyle?
Oh wait, never mind.
Some
she's
of
on his
did you check out the boss models, Illy?
Yeah, I did.
Some of the ones they had, they're pretty cool looking. in my
They're
opinion,
really
though.
sick.
Like,
I really love. I don't remember. It's like Caliphus, I think is what his name is. The ad fight giant robot is cool. That's the first boss. I really like the. I'd seen it before in the video, but like seeing it like actually, the Ride-along model looks sick.
that one looks sick. It's either from like first. It's one of the first 3. There's like a bunch of different ads or prototypes on it, and like one of them has like his legs are like a set of orbs that like rotate around and stuff. Pretty cool looking. Like the boss models look pretty legit.
Yeah, they did. I mean, I really like all of the models for the dudes. I don't remember what they're called. The Automa. Those guys look sick.
And they're not in. They weren't on the PPR journal, but seeing them on Wowhead the other day, the prototype first ones, whatever that boss is called, those look sick.
Yeah, those look really good. I can't wait to see those like with the animations and stuff.
I am hoping that you can do that boss later, because that boss could be a lot of fun. Like having those Denathras mechanics combined with some other stuff. So hopefully it's not like an easy 4th boss.
Yeah, I was really hoping that. I'm still kind of sad that Zymox is so early, like the 3rd boss. I would love if he was a little bit later, because I would like his like final fight to be like actually kind of tough. He's really cool.
I just want seeds again. And then I'm gonna have to like give them to Val, who's already done them, and have him panic again. And then Illy's gonna get them and like.
And one-shot it.
Yeah.
the bosses. Oh, the Devourer boss. I've seen like a little bit of the model.
Oh, there's another Devourer? Oh god, not again.
Aiden's like, I'm done. I'm not raiding.
It's definitely gonna be. I think that one's probably like the patchwork style fight, where it's just DPS check. That one seems.
I remember reading the description. I don't remember anything about that boss though.
What it seems, it's like the boss is going to be filling the room up with a dot that everyone has, essentially, that's just going to overwhelm you with something if you're not careful. Which sounds pretty cool.
Like he fills up the room with a dot?
It's like a dot that is applied to people, and like you have to pick up the tools of it. Which, again, seems pretty interesting.
I don't get it.
The boss over
it's a Hungarian boss.
Yeah, the boss over the time, like, he'll apply a dot to people you have to like, pick up, and also just like again.
That's a carrot group.
Oh, I guess. Yeah. I think so. I could go read the actual boss in a second.
Which one are you talking about?
The Devourer boss.
Yo, Brown's colon died. Dude, Carlos, look at Illy's frames. Look, it's so hard to tell when somebody's dead.
Well, it says dead.
Yeah, but you're not looking at it. You just look at the color. Nobody looks at it.
I look at the words because I have eyes.
You're not looking like the middle of your screen, your character or anything?
Dude, this illegal. Dude, this
It's a little suspect, yeah.
Dude, this fucking phase one so long. He talks so much garbage and noise.
They're not trying to win. They're just vibing.
I just hate that style of raid frame. Sorry, Ellie, no offense. The like that coloring of it, the like black and white, or the ones that are like black and like a slightly darker, like a slightly lighter black. I think Mary's are like that.
The only thing I don't like about it is that when somebody's dead, it turns black like they're full health instead of just staying white like they're actually dead.
Dude, when we did this boss with the pug Aiden, I was like literally getting so angry because when on main raid, when we master spell, I can just port every single one. I don't have to like be anywhere.
Yeah, and here you have to ping pong.
Yeah, I mean the mass strat's so much better on this fight.
Oh yeah. Apparently we're supposed to be messing at the end, but they kind of fucked it up there.
Wait,
they have like
you have three
don't they have
priests.
like
Why
three
wouldn't they mass
priests?
everyone?
I don't know.
Oh, because one of them is Tenevoy. And he's pumping.
They are pumping.
But they're also dying.
Are they pumping though, or is everyone else not pumping?
Oh, remove them. That's what it's called. That's the fucking footing.
9.2 DPS, 9.2k is like not bad.
Yeah, I actually
that's pretty
don't
good.
know the like absolute numbers on this fight.
It's like okay, I think, for Shadow Priest. Let me look and see.
It's not terrible.
I think
It's
that's
a
on the
good Shadow
lower
Priest
end
fight.
for Shadow Priest,
Yeah, I
though.
don't, it's very hard to tell what's good DPS in this game.
Let's find
'Cause
out.
nothing is like, there's very few like actual patchwork fights.
Alright, this is 9.2, so not people are pulling, the really, really good players are pulling like 13, that guy's 14k.
Well, I mean, these guys have no gear, so what are they gonna do?
That guy has a bit of gear, but...
I mean, they're 4 out of 10, they can't be that geared.
Let's see, double legendary, Destro will kind of suck ass. I think it's only good for Bruno.
Ash should get some good stuff out of it.
Like, I think the model for the architect boss I just linked, like when it's in, it doesn't look as good static in the picture. Like in motion, I think it looks really good.
He looks like a little gremlin.
He does,
Yeah,
and
he's
like
big,
the
like,
orbs and
he's like
stuff like float and spin on his model.
Is he like a short little fat guy?
It's tough to tell. Like a lot of these, they could be giant or they could be like a squat. And like, it's
he's big.
hard to tell.
I've seen screenshots of him, he's big. He's like, so based on what it seems like in the description, we're helping him like test like prototype combat models or combat dudes to fight them also. So like he's building them as the fight goes on, and we just have to like deal with those. I think we're also like fighting him too.
Yeah, like that's another one from the same fight, and that like giant orb in the center like spins the whole time and looks pretty cool.
Yeah. I also was thinking, I was looking at the zone. I actually really like this zone visually. It looks like...
Tally said it was huge. He was one of the few
It's
people
pretty
streaming,
big.
and he said it's enormous.
It's a pretty big zone. It's far larger than Korthia by a pretty good magnitude.
Times Korthia.
It looks nice.
Fly?
Yeah, we can fly.
You can? I didn't actually know that.
You can't like on launch, of course, but that's how it always is. But you'll learn flying somewhat at some point in the story. They've said, which is nice because
in the pre-patch for the next expansion.
Yeah, the zone itself though is nice. Getting around the zone is actually not bad in general. There's 3 big flight points. Actually, no, there's 4. There's 3. It looks like that you can use from anywhere. One of them is there's an extra one that takes you to the world boss. There's one that takes you to the raid. There's a flight point near the one that takes you to the raid, so you can just like fly to that area. And then there's like one in a cave that's like, I don't really know exactly what it is, but you know.
That ability from the jailer fight. So much stuff on the PTR is fucked up right now.
I think Illy posted a thing earlier, some guy complaining about the PTR being unfinished. It was so funny.
It was super funny.
When you log on PTR, it's like 50% people saying stuff like that. It's like they don't understand the purpose of PTR.
Wait, are they not joking?
No, I don't think.
I'm sure some of them might be, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like it.
PTR supposed to be.
Yeah, that's the point of the PTR. I don't know why people are complaining about it. It's so stupid.
That's why, like, the people freaking out about, like, the one that comes to mind is, like, the Holy Pally set. Like, you apparently have 100% wings uptime with it right now. And people are, like, freaking the fuck out. And it's like, that's not going live like it is. It's like the first week of PTR. You just need to, chill.
Like, yes and no. Like, I feel like there have been a couple times when things like that have gotten the PTR and they've gone through.
Some
stuff
will get through and will be broken, but stuff does not get through that broken. Like, that is like absurdly broken.
I think
that's true.
People do need to complain about it, I think, to an extent. 'Cause I think Blizzard does listen to player feedback, and if something's getting like rampantly complained about, they're gonna change it.
No, I'm not saying people like shouldn't talk about it and shouldn't like point it out to them. I'm saying the people acting like this is the final version of the thing and like Doom saying that no other healer is going to be viable and like nothing will change.
Yeah,
those people need to calm down.
That's a little ridiculous.
And there's a whole lot of people doing that.
I can't think of any examples, but I do know there have been times you looked at things on the PTR and said, "There's no way that's going live," and it went live. And it was interesting.
Wait.
Hellstones.
Where's 2 of you on the meters?
Harsh, Rice.
Well, you have 3 Hellstones.
And Rice, I think Night Fade demo is going to end up being like sub-rogue almost. You're going to be able to seriously funnel if you got multiple targets. Because you got like your own power infusion and double ruby, basically.
Monk is gonna spin and do a lot of AoE damage.
Is Monk still playing Necro as of right now?
I don't know, because the Night Fae legendary is actually busted. So even though the ability is weak, the legendary is so good, and if you get your other legendary with it, it might be very strong. Because like the Kyrian legendary, there's no way we're playing Kyrian again because the Kyrian legendary is actively worse than not having a legendary.
Yeah, I think I heard about that. There's another class that's the same way.
I think it was like Sepsis for Rogue.
Old Sepsis. The legendary was terrible. It would just overwrite your cooldowns for a lower duration.
Yeah, it was basically like you know how, like when Illy's on his Demon Hunter in Venthyr, he like metas away from the boss to not fuck up his like sinful brand dot or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically that, but there's no way to prevent it unless you desync your cooldowns. Because like you hit Zwen and you hit Weapons of Order, and then your big Zwen gets deleted because Weapon of Order summons a new one, or you hit Weapons of Order first and then Zwen right after, and then that Zwen gets deleted because you summon a new one. Like, you can have 2 up at a time.
So why is it only a thing now? Like, you were Kyrian the first tier, right?
So the reason I'm Necro now instead of Kyrian is just because Bone Dust got buffed, or like it was like bugged.
Okay.
Like I think if it was like fixed the entire expansion, it would have been probably played first patch too. But like the big thing was like your images didn't benefit from it, so it was like better to not use it with Storm, Earth, and Fire, which is very
4,
weird.
3, 2, 1.
Monk ability names are just ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, I would imagine it's still probably gonna be Bone Dust or Necro or whatever, but it could be Night Fae.
Yeah, as of now, it looks like Prot Warrior could be either Kyrian or Necro. But Necro they have to fix Banner's interaction with a couple things for it to be like the pick for sure.
Also, Necro is just awful to play optimally.
It's awful to play, but because of the double legendary and the anger management interaction, like even if you're not like optimally using Banner anymore, for you just personally, like you gain so much rage from Banner that it ends up making it like a 35-second cooldown on Shield Wall, which is like 4 minutes normally.
Okay.
So like the interaction.
35 seconds.
That's what people were saying.
This will last for like 10.
8, I think. And that's with
Wait, don't you have the conduit too that makes it like reduce cooldown? Wait.
Yeah, there's a
there's
a conduit that reduces about like 36 or something at max rank. I forget exactly. So it's like pretty broken at the moment. And I think Prot Pally's in kind of the same boat it is right now. Like probably Venthyr in raids, but Kyrian's going to be very strong.
I mean, they have to do something about Action Hollow for Paladins not to put Venthyr.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to. Like, it's the last patch. They're not going to completely overhaul it at this point.
This guy's hitting a chain that he's not linked to.
Like the thing about Ashen, if you nerf it like even a tiny bit, you just don't play it. Like nobody plays it because it is worse than Kyrian at that point, and it's like a 4-minute CD that even if you play it optimally, like you're never gonna do it.
I don't like Ashen. Like playing it is very awkward. It's like it's hard to line up with like Seraphim. It's kind of weird with wings. And I guess it works well with wings, but on Prot Paladin you play the talent that reduces wings cooldown, right? So it doesn't actually line up consistently.
Well, the thing about Ashen is I never end up using it just on CD. So like I always end up lining stuff up with it. But
like
that's because
type thing.
Yeah. So like if I am using Ashen on pool and then on CD after that, then they don't quite line up. But that never ends up being like what happens. So.
Okay. Yeah, for Ret, I tried doing it in Ret 1 week on Heroic, and it was very awkward trying to line everything up.
Because like on Sylvanas, I Ashen on pool, I Ashen first split on phase 2, I Ashen second platform as soon as we land, and then I Ashen last platform in last phase. So like those are not like
it's 4 minutes
apart. It's close, but those are not like it is.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
I can't at the like very beginning of the 4th platform, but you still get a full Ashen in on platform 4.
Well, they got a lot of people alive. They're doing ads. Look at them.
They're all dead, guys.
No, not yet.
The thing about Ashen is like those 30 seconds feel like great, but then every 3.5 minutes other than that feels pretty terrible.
So like drugs?
Kind of, yeah. Although you will get the 45-second Ashen next patch.
So like drugs.
It's gonna be like hardcore drugs, yeah.
I feel like Kyrian Prot Paladin is like in single target it's very whatever. but in AoE it's super fun. But then like
Dude.
Ret Kyrian is always fun.
These guys, man.
They got
Like-
to the first turn there though.
Like, I think in Raid, it still just makes sense to play Venthyr. Like, because the Kyrian one is so good on multi-target, but, like, it's fine single target, but there's no way it competes with Ashen, even on a minute CD.
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, I think Kyrian's just better for, like, picking up threat on... Like, it's very good in, like, Mythic Plus. When if you hit Divine Toll at the beginning of a pull, there's no way you lose threat the entire pull.
Yeah. Even now, when I was watching the Great Push, like I talked about earlier, he was complaining about because he was playing Venthyr Pally for it, and he was complaining about initial snap threat on it.
Yeah,
I don't know why it's so bad compared to like Prout Warrior, because it doesn't seem like Prout Warrior does a ton of instant damage, except when you have Spear up.
Well, part of it is like with Prop Paladin, sometimes you won't even hit mobs because like if you Avenger Shield a pack with like 6 mobs, you won't hit one of them.
And like Consecration just does nothing. Like you put that down and mobs ignore you completely.
Basically, need to get threat out of Shield of the Righteous. Well, if you're playing Venthyr, you don't have Divine Toll.
No, when you Divine Toll, is that a legendary? You just fart a Divine Toll like every other.
Yeah, so after you cast it, every 5 seconds for the next 15 seconds, you get 3 extra Avenger Shields. That's the legendary.
That reminds me, I need to actually do...
5.
You can farm Soul Cinders.
3, 2.
Just, you can farm right now, right?
Cinders and Ash, yeah. Well, Ash you already could.
Because I need to craft a bunch of Covenant legendaries, I guess.
You don't have to craft
I don't think so, actually.
Yeah, you want
Oh, yeah, you get the belt.
Yeah,
Never mind.
like,
So I actually shouldn't craft that stuff now. It's just a waste.
yeah, you probably can't even make that. What? You also just PvP with it, right? You heal?
Yeah,
I'll let you carry me.
Big Necro. Big damn one-shots. It's funny though.
So, since there's a bunch of Jailer stuff on Mythic about Surging Azerite, do you think we're going to go back to Azeroth in 10.0 and have to collect Azerite again?
Dude, what if people who kept their Azerite from BFA get to use it?
Oh my god. It would be worth it just to see the like reactions.
I mean, something's happened. I feel like we're probably getting to the point where it's gonna like actually become a character as opposed to just being the Titan everyone talks about.
Next expansion, so the like Bolvar mob that's leading us and introducing us to stuff is just going to be named Azerite, and it's going to like have a physical form.
Yeah, I'm still pumped for when 10.0 comes out and we're back on Azeroth, and for a week, everyone's just in the deck for BFA again, and they have Memory of Lucid Dreams and Vision of Perfection Nature, because those will actually still be strong because they don't like it's not like a damage button.
Where they like still work because that's how they design.
They still work now.
Well, they still work, but then like when they start getting 10.0 features in, they're gonna be like, "Oh shit!" Now we have this
I'm saying they're probably gonna forget about it. And for a couple weeks, like some classes that are benefit from those will be absolutely busted.
Yeah, it's gonna be like Fuzzy coming back and having the crazy combustion.
I really hope that like we actually do something with the Heart of Azeroth again because it still exists. Like if we go back there and like actually.
Yeah, maybe it's intentional. Like maybe it's supposed to be something later.
That's the thing, like, that's cool if you're like us and you play, like, every expansion, like, all the way through. But it must suck if you, like, just start in 10.0 and then you have to go back and try to that.
Well, I mean, I would assume they have catch-up and, like, get your neck if you don't have one. But, like, it would be cool for the people that have been playing just be like, yeah, you're bringing out your neck again because we're doing this type of thing.
They'd also have to get essences somehow. Like, are they just going to get all the essences, or they just add a system?
Yeah,
I would assume they would add
and that's
essences.
Yeah, they would obviously add like ketchup and stuff, but then it's just like, oh, the new people see the system as like, oh, it's another thing I have to like do before I'm viable. Like,
Joe, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't think they can actually do something like that.
I'm 1800 on H-Pal? When did this happen?
Dude, that was with wasn't that with me and Keats?
Yeah.
That was Keats DH when you got 1800. You were healing.
Dude, you wipe the wires pumping. The wires pumping out. Fuck.
I'm not excited about this tank combo on Jailer that root me to the ground because I feel like those tank mechanics always suck. Because there's going to be something else. There's going to be something else going on in the fight though, and it's going to be frustrating.
All of the jailer's tank mechanics, I think those are the
Pally.
things that happen to him. That's like his life story right there. He's bound and then he's like fucked up.
Yeah, it's imprisonment, persecution,
Yeah.
misery, suffering.
Yeah, that's just like him
That's
being
edgy.
angry. Yeah, he's angry.
What's
What's
a good? Wait, what's a good legendary to do Torghast as red? Just Final Verdict.
Final Verdict's probably okay, but you're casting Divine Storm. Like, Tempest of the Lightbringer is probably better because you cast more Divine Storm.
Oh, yeah.
Or Magistrate's Judgment is like a good in-between. And then, the Kyrian one's obviously the best.
Oh, I can just go Kyrian legendary, huh?
Yeah, that one's definitely the best. Because it's the best single target, and it's probably the second best AoE behind Tempest of the Lightbringer.
Dude, Torghast on Pally sucks ass, bro.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
it's
need to
awful.
try the new Torghast thing. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, the boss
Boss
version
rush.
of it.
Yeah, it's like.
Wait, is that out?
What?
There's a...
It's on PTR.
It's PTR, yeah.
Oh, on PTR.
Dude, where's my boss rush right now, bro?
That
Bro,
sounds
but
like
somebody
so
dies.
much better than the current version.
I'm interested to see what it looks like. How
What
does
is it exactly?
I think
really said.
8
Tally did
bosses, 8
it,
floors.
and so they get more difficult throughout, obviously. But
How do powers work? Like, you just have some powers?
I'm not sure. I didn't see that part, but they start adding multiple bosses to some floors. So
Okay, Jesus Christ. I forgot.
That could be fun, but I'm curious, because, the thing with Torghast is, as you progress through the floor, you're picking up powers, but if you're just doing bosses, where do you actually get powers from?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you just get 8 powers or 7 powers, I guess.
Yeah, just each time you kill a boss, you just get one, I guess.
Why is this hunter almost dying trying to get a shot off during Rise?
Because he's not dying. Almost only counts
Eagle
torches,
Scout?
hand grenades, and hot dogs.
This intermission that's in Jailer right now makes no sense, which makes me think it's basically nothing that's important is in the journal yet.
Yo,
Yeah,
wait.
that's also
It makes
true.
it seem like nothing. You don't have to do anything. It's just
Yeah.
there's,
If
It's
there's-
like
I
Sylvanas
mean-
intermission.
no, it's
No,
different.
it's
Yeah.
empty.
Wait, how are they watching the entire cutscene? What the hell?
Because they're trying to make a strat.
Oh, I haven't muted.
No, I don't know. I just made that shit up.
True.
Ellie, what
They have-
difficulty is this?
They're here with everyone alive, though.
Wait, what the fuck? It's Keats?
When did this guy get here? Oh, there's another tank mechanic that I have to destroy stuff with in the later phase.
Oh, Remnant.
The boomkin fell. Did you guys see that shit?
No, it's a debuff you get that you then can move around to destroy stuff within 10 yards.
Oh,
Yeah,
Are you
that's
doing
how you-
level
that's how you,
call guests or something, or are you just trying to send oops?
I'm not doing it.
Dude, this guy almost backpedaled off. That would have been so funny.
No, dude. Did you see the boomkin?
Did he just walk off?
He was lagging, when you teleport, and then you see him in the middle of that small hole.
Those holes are such a troll. I mean,
dude, I go top down. That's why you play top down.
I mean, I can see him on. I think I might have fallen in once on normal because I wasn't paying attention, but it's still just such a troll thing to do.
Man, I don't think these guys can. I don't know.
They're never gonna kill this boss. I guarantee they do not kill this boss.
I don't think they kill this boss.
Oh, it's gonna
They
get
have-
nerfed and then they can.
Well,
Maybe,
when
yeah.
they get, even if it gets nerfed, you still need
Depends on what they
coordinates. Usually it's HP.
I feel like you
nerf,
have to
right?
nerf early and later phases. Because if you just nerf the last phase, they take so long to get there, they take so many pulls. It's not going to make that much difference.
Yeah.
They're not even coordinating phase 2 properly.
They're not coordinating the intermission either.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying.
they're just gonna nerf the. They're gonna nerf the woe damage by like 20%.
That's not relevant.
Why would they do that?
They're still coming very close to dying on that intermission first
Like
set.
at the very beginning?
Yeah, and then they're gonna nerf the chain HP by like 30% or something.
That would actually be a big nerf, the chain HP, because that's something that
Yeah.
they're struggling with a lot, at least watching them.
And then they may adjust the desecrating shot. No. They're not going to adjust that. They're going to adjust the damage of the, what is it called? The barbed arrow cast or whatever the raid damage thing is called.
I think the intermission, they need to nerf the damage of some of the abilities as well.
Nerf the health of the ads too.
And I don't know if they need to nerf the health. Maybe nerf the health.
The intermission or the phase 2?
Oh, phase 2. I mean, yeah, it's the second intermission, basically.
Blessing of Summer.
I don't know. I haven't seen them play phase 2 enough to know, like, is it they just haven't seen it enough, or is it, like, actually hard for them to kill the ads?
I think, like, we have random deaths to it, too, sometimes. Just, like, unavoidable damage, just killing people. Like, I think the damage is just pretty high, so...
In phase 2? I feel like most of our phase 2 deaths are, like, people fall off or they get hit by waves.
Most of them are, but at least on the right side, the second set, so, like... After the first burn, when you go straight, like that, there's a lot of damage going out there. But we have 3 healers, so I guess that's kind of why.
I mean, our left side second split is always very dicey, but like it just feels dicey. Like we don't die most of the time.
I was playing Tyrion.
Right, that's what I'm
So I
saying though.
didn't
It's like
have, like-
with worse guilds are probably going to struggle with that. Then if we're dicey on both sides.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Wait, Tyrion.
We were dicey once because I kind of forgot I'd gone straight the entire time and kind of forgot I was supposed to go left.
Dude, Tyrion Boomkin is gonna be so good in PvP with the double legendary.
5, 4,
Buffalo Windwalker.
2, 1.
You
Yeah, I
Buffalo
could've-
Wind? What the fuck?
I could have just made Ellie go that way since we had been doing Shadow Priest, but
That's what I told Aiden.
I mean, it was fine once I actually remembered to do it.
I mean, my reasoning was Zoid has seen the fight slightly more, and he generally is tankier to just like eating stuff, and I felt like Ellie was going to eat waves going over there because almost everyone does, and then like if you eat waves, that first set of soaks like just kills you every time. So,
I don't know why, but like everyone thinks S-Priest is like swishy, but S-Priest is the thing. Is one of the things.
I don't think it's squishy, but I think survivability wise to like just raid damage, Zoid tends to survive better than like Ellie.
Like,
well, Demo's the best at that, but
yeah, Demo's just kind of
not bad.
But like S-Priest is like has Desperate Prey.
I feel like a lot of stuff with S-Priest though is active. Like they're really tanky in PvP because they have so many I'm not going to die now buttons.
That's kind of how Monk is, but Monk's actually very squishy in PvP. But like in PvE, like Monk doesn't have a lot of like Demo Lock. You can probably just never hit defensives on a lot of fight and just be fine just because of your like Soul Leech or whatever it's called, that pet link whatever thing. And like Monk, if you don't hit defensives, it's gonna die. And I think Priest is the same way, but their defensives are strong.
You know who else is squishy in PvE?
Paladin.
No, Warrior apparently, because I assigned Keats to soak there, and like all the other people that I assigned to soak, like their health maybe dips to like half, and the first hit, I'm like, I'm not gonna sack Keats, he'll be fine. He drops to like 20%. Like
I mean,
Armsword
yes,
doesn't
with
really have
these
good defenses.
And like they have to press ignore pain, and then that causes damage.
Bro, I do it. I hit distance. I hit ignore pain.
I felt pretty bad because Keats was like, "Oh,
Wait,
do I need anything else?" And I was
No,
like,
I didn't.
nah.
But so like the last time the very last soak, or like I guess my second soak, I went to 10%, and that was die by the sword, distance, ignore pain. I was just like, holy
yeah,
shit!
I was not expecting it.
Pretty sure I would have died if I had greeted.
Because before last, or whenever it was, we'd always had either Monk, Shami, or a Warlock, and they're all so tanky for that. I was not expecting the Keats HP.
I think I gotta just have like really low verse or something also, because every time I look at damage taken on like every fight, I'm like very close to the top.
Oh yeah, because verse isn't like your best stat.
What's verse for you? Wait, what's your verse?
I don't know.
Do you remember?
Verse is the same for everyone.
I sim
Gives you
everything.
damage and damage reduction.
No, I meant like what is his number? What's the rating?
I don't know.
I mean, I've only got like.
No, yeah, I knew you said because you said I was talking to Aiden. You said.
I know. I was trolling. I knew you know that.
Wait, Aiden loves verse though, right? Isn't
Not,
that
no, my
not
best
as much?
crit.
Uh.
I probably have like 14, 15%
Oh, I
burst.
should
That's my
probably
second
sign up.
best.
I should probably sign up for boost.
5.
Like at my crit, I'm
4,
like
3,
getting as close to the cap
1.
as possible. Basically, is the goal. But as soon as it goes over the 40%, it loses some value, obviously.
just end of expansion stuff?
Well, no, I mean just like the actual DR they put on secondary stat stacking.
Oh, I actually forgot about that for a second.
Yeah.
So it's basically just like get as much crit, like get crit up to that number, and then as much verse past that, or like
Yeah, this phase, man, they gotta change something.
What happened? 1, 2, 3, 4,
I mean,
5.
people are just dying to like raid damage.
Also, 3 people just died there to the fucking not moving off the circle.
I have 182 verse.
Oh,
but like
it's like
4% or something.
Yeah, not much.
I don't know. I'm looking at Warcraft logs. I want to see if I'm actually the lowest.
What fight are you looking at?
Tonight.
I don't know, I'm liking all this chain stuff in the jailer illy because it reminds me kind of Argus, and I like that fight a lot.
I like the combo he has. Like I like his tank combo.
Oh, you have more burst than 2.
You might disagree, Regardless, but I thought that heroic Argus had like the most fun tank mechanic.
Wait, yo,
Like,
I
you
didn't
just
know
try to
that.
Survive as long as you can.
Yo, you know the key
Oh,
guy, the
yeah.
keystone guy in Orbus?
Well done.
If you don't have a key, just ask the guy. I may have misplaced the keystone.
Oh,
it
what?
gives you a key.
Oh, really?
What?
Shit.
Wait,
yeah,
how
like if you don't loot your vault, you can go do that.
wait, are you all trolling? How did I know that?
What?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Like if
I
you
know
don't do
that,
Mythic
yeah.
Plus for like more than a
Gaslighting
week.
No,
They
I
gotta
really did actually know that one.
Gatekeep, Gaslight, Brawlers.
Oh, I don't know. Does it work if you haven't done it?
Yeah, I
mean,
got one.
yeah.
I got one last week because I hadn't done one in like 6 weeks or
Yeah,
something.
I don't do.
So your
whatever
key
it
still
tries to
drops every like one every week or whatever it is. Like I looted like a 9 or something.
At that point,
Yeah.
it's probably not even worth getting it then. Just do a 15 and get whatever.
Yeah, that. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm gonna get a 15 key, and then I can just do my own key, and I looted a 9, and that's why I had to pump that stupid key.
Why did Growls needed to do a key?
Because I was trying to get my valor, man.
This is
Oh.
Or my, yeah, my
We should
score.
do some 5 tank keys.
I guess 5 tanks.
Where are you gonna find 5 tanks?
They're right here. In
True.
this Discord, we could do it. We
Oh,
could
that's
do
true.
me, Ellie, Keith, Zoid, Grawl. It's easy.
I can tank, no problem.
you
As,
also.
as
There's
long as
so
people
much
don't
fucking damage.
need me to
It's
tank.
insane.
Yeah, if you're one of 5 tanks, you're not a tank.
Then
you know?
yeah, the other tanks don't care if I do a good job or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like 5 tank keys, especially with the prop pally, would just be really easy up to. I don't know how high, but like you need so little healing on those keys anyway, and prop pally heals like a ton.
We did it several times over in Legion, up to almost 20. It was fun. It was just
I
so
remember
fun.
I did like a 5 tank 20 with, I think it was like Wara, Illy, Seamus, and Karth. And we all had a shit ton of Twilight
Throwback
Dev.
right there.
Yeah. We had a shit ton of Twilight Dev, and we were just like, somebody would proc a Twilight Dev on a pool and it would die and we'd go to the next one. Like, it was so funny.
Oh man, tank Twilight Dev is so fun. I mean,
It's so
not
good.
fun, but like fun.
No, it was fun.
Dude, what the fuck? You have so many tertiaries.
What's a tertiary?
Huh?
Like
What was I
speed,
spacing? I'm
leech
so
avoidance.
sad.
Oh
you
yeah, I do. Yeah.
No.
I can't tell if 2U's trolling anymore.
I'm DPSing Warlock, so I'm like
Oh, sorry.
concentrated. Yeah,
Okay,
sorry.
focus.
How was I facing the boss? That's so sad.
You're on the
Notice how
outside,
once
and they
every
mask.
Yeah, I was on the
Tyson and I
outside.
don't say
So
anything.
if you're on the outside and they mask, we have a 50% chance to get knocked anyways.
That's not how. Oh, knocked away.
Yeah, because if you get masked, like one of them will go off first. It's just random which one goes off first. So if yours goes off first and then you get knocked from the other guy outside, you're just going offside.
Oh, like, I was picking my nose last phase. Bates crab, like, I just yeah, I mean,
that fight feels so weird because like it's shitty pulls after shitty pulls because like a person or two people die in like intermission normally, or like we die because an ad blows up or like random stuff like that. But then when you get to last phase with everybody alive, it feels so easy, like almost every time.
Yeah.
Well, it's usually intermission stuff. Face red. It's usually like intermission stuff, like someone runs into a beam, they run into an orb, they don't line despair, they don't call for help when they're gonna have to soak in despair while they're doing a ring. Like they're just, it's a lot of very easily avoidable stuff.
Yeah, but it's so like stark on that fight because it's a total joke to make the damage now if everybody's alive. But if one person's dead, it's like super hard but maybe doable, and anything other than that, it's just you gotta play the runes.
It's also very punishing. Like if someone running a rune just dies at a bad time, like, and there's no one close enough to cover, you just wipe. Like, or if someone misses the soaks or whatever, it's an instant wipe. Or like the slow falls off for half a second and sprints to the tank, and the tank blows it up.
That one's so frustrating, and I'm like, I could run double horse to avoid that, but then I can't spell word, which means I can't do the intermission stuff. I can I can do one of them, like with bubble, but
I started just like last night. I started just like I'm putting my slow on, and I just have to keep hitting him with an ability. So I'm just like spending my damage on spinning crane kick instead of. So I'm like losing a little bit of single target on the boss, but I'm making sure he never gets unslowed.
And that boss is really random to tank because like his normal stuff doesn't really do that much, but his probe like absolutely trucks, and it's not like basically when you swap, he can cast Diviner's probe. And it's like you never really know how many times he's going to cast it. So like War is the easy choice or the obvious choice to like slow it since he's tanking there. And most of the time you're probably fine if he doesn't cast probe a lot. But if he's casting probe a lot, War is just going to die if he like doesn't have the runes. So
yeah,
because it's like 60k nukes just back to back to back.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I can slow
fun.
it.
I can slow it, no problem.
Yeah, I usually slow it. Is we would run into that problem where only like one or two people be slowing it, and then everyone else get used to not doing it. I know we wiped at least once last night because I just had to run way out for a bomb, and I was the one keeping exhaustion on it.
Wait, don't they raid? I don't understand why they end raid early all the time.
They did it again? I tell you what, man. I don't know why I find that so frustrating, but it is.
Ending right early is cringe.
Because there's no reason. It's just like, we don't feel. We're kind of bored. Let's just stop.
Oh,
I guess
girls.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to talk about changing the subject. What were you saying?
I was gonna say, I guess the guild, like Tuyu and Kelly and I and a couple others were in initially, so like Daily Show kind of did the same thing where like our raids were set, but like sometimes they wouldn't happen. They would happen like they'd end early. They'd be like super disorganized, and that is kind of why we left. So it does make sense why I'm so frustrated.
Their
Dude,
raid,
why?
Their raid lead would just make us watch like Fat Boss video and then be like, okay, let's pull.
And then he like stopped showing up or stopped.
Yeah.
He stopped showing up, and he like would show up like with no plan, like so it was not great.
And then we'd have to whisper Billy to tell him what to do.
Oh my god! The pants is 30k on my server!
What were you gonna say though, Illy?
Oh, I was going to ask if you'd looked at Rydalon, the mechanics.
I don't think I've skimmed through that one. I haven't like actually, concentrated on it yet.
That fight, I mean, again, I'm in general pumped for the last three bosses. They seemed like actually interesting. A lot of it coming from the fact that they don't look like they have phases. where it's like, or besides Zip, where it's like the final phases, but like Lords of Dread and Rhydalon both don't have like. And then this happens, and now you're in a different phase. They're just like abilities going off, which I like a lot.
Yeah, that's true. Although the Dreadlords does have like an energy-based phase.
Yeah, it has like
I feel, but
the big powers with the signature moves. But
Yeah.
otherwise, like, it's not like.
no, that is a good point.
Which I feel like in general, hopefully, can bode well to the whole like how the fights play out. That's like one thing, but also just the abilities themselves seem very interesting. Like, Rhydalon looks sick. The fact that there's like parts of the fight that you can't see unless you have done a certain thing is pretty cool. Like you literally can't interact with some of the orbs and shit.
Oh yeah, I remember.
You have to like get his cosmic perspective or some shit by interacting with the debuff that like blows you up.
I think I'm going to
Yeah, which makes me think it might play out just like a split group thing, like a what's a boss?
What's
like
better?
Kind of like a Desolate Host type deal, like where you split phases.
What it looks like is that everyone goes there at some point because he nukes the raid if you don't, and it's like an unsurvivable thing.
What's
Like
a better
it's like
target?
600k. That's. Wait a second.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Where it's like 600k damage that cannot be mitigated or immune. You just die if you're not in the singularity, then shifts everyone over. So it looks like during the before he casts an ability, you have people like going in and out of the phase doing their thing to like interact with the orbs, and then there's a point where like he takes everyone there, or like everyone goes there to not die to his thing, and then the fight goes up back to like the other phases. Looks like, or the other like forms phases.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely got potential. I'm excited about the last four. I haven't really read through about the first 7 or whatever it is very closely.
Yeah.
But the last 4 seem pretty good.
The first few I never care about because it's like those are going to be one-shot bosses or easy bosses that aren't like super complex or necessarily interesting on their own.
As we like to tear Greer like 12 times. I don't know what it actually was, but I know what you mean. It's what, second boss and Skolex tomorrow?
2nd and 60th. Skolex. Reminds me of Rolex, like the watches.
It's a worm? It doesn't actually have the model in yet, but it's a
Yeah,
giant
it's a
worm.
big worm. It's a devourer worm, yeah. The model looks pretty interesting. Oh, pretty cool. It's like a worm dude.
I don't know, Aiden. Some of these mechanics sound familiar. Unending hunger. Straight out of Hunger and Devour.
Yeah, I mean,
is it just like other people getting you killed that makes Hungry and Devour difficult? I'm honestly curious.
Is he here? Oh, he might not be here.
Sorry, okay.
This reminds me of like Hunger and Devour meets Jessica. I think it's
What
probably
curse
because
should
it's
I
wormy.
put on Ner'zhul?
Weakness.
Weakness?
Five,
Okay.
Maybe a weakness on any
4,
boss, pretty much.
3, 2,
If you
1.
remember.
If you remember.
I just remembered I had
Just like I rally if I remember.
I forbore. I remember.
You have power infusion.
Power.
What the fuck?
Do you got power
I didn't ask
infusion?
for shit. I was shit what I get.
It's like 20% less melee damage for the tanks, but it depends on what is actually causing one of
Man,
them.
if the
It's important on
tank
target.
dies, if the tank dies, that's
If the tank dies, it is Rice's fault. That is what I've learned to say. I died. Wait, was weakness up, Rice? No? Okay, yeah, that was it.
The weakness on the 2 ads on Fate's Guys is actually kind of big though.
Those ads truck. I'm glad I don't have to tank them in.
Because if you at least delay a swing, you can get off an ass check.
Yeah, I remember watching, I think it was Darky tank those like in World First Race, and he was just getting blasted. I think on DK actually.
Especially the last group is really kind of rough because we're trying to save cooldowns and not blast so super fast, and they stack up above. So that was always kind of sketch.
You see in the Skolex fight, Billy, so he faces a random player and he like breathes acid on them, and it does damage and whatever. But also while they have the dot from that on them, it teleports players twice randomly while they're
Yes, that honestly, that one's just. I feel like that's going to be very interesting.
That is going to tilt so many people.
It's honestly, that fight is. I mean, I always enjoy when they do single target fights later into the race because they can always just do the same things with them, and that's definitely something that I find interesting.
I can already see this happening. It's gonna like breathe on either Keith or Tuyu. They're gonna be like in the middle of cooldowns, and it's gonna teleport them 30 yards away or something.
I mean, they could leap and get a charge.
No, that's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine. It's gonna teleport you like 40 yards away then, just out of range where it like takes a couple seconds.
I mean,
everyone who was horrible at what was that fight? Opulence.
Opulence.
They're gonna get destroyed by that.
Oh, true.
Wait, because of second phase opulence, where they like had the pools you have to go out on?
No, first phase when you get teleported and people get disoriented and done.
Oh, I totally forgot that was the thing on that fight.
Well, that was the most frustrating.
I love that
fight
part.
to me
That
was
so fun.
people not learning that at all.
You were immune until you moved, right? So as long as you just kind of
for like 2
people were
seconds or
so bad at
something.
that.
Yeah.
I feel like it was until you moved.
No, you're right.
Yeah, so it was just like calm down and look around for a minute.
Yeah, just gotta observe your surroundings.
So I think on this one though, Keats, once you're teleported, when you move, you disorient for 2 seconds.
Oh, so you just stand there, or do you?
I'm not. How
is it a timeout, or do you have to disorient?
It is unclear. Because it also sounds like you're going to be leaving pools at those locations, but if you're unable to move, that doesn't make a ton of sense.
Time to bring in all the grips, life grips.
Yeah, I wonder what
pools
the
do like
flavor-
15k damage every second and a half, but like that would not be trivial.
Oh, trinket on.
I mean, this is 6 boss, so
Yeah, I mean it could be decently hard.
I hope that it is, honestly. I mean, again, after this raid, I still remember this. But like, in general, 6 bosses can be like pretty solid because it was like the first times that like bosses start to get a little bit more challenging. But you know,
This raid had plenty of reasonable challenge to it. It's just kind of what Gralis always talks about with his tuning that matters.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like,
without like Guardian should have been a much harder DPS check, and Fate Scribe we should not have been able to do Fate Scribe the way we're doing.
yeah, and just like it's that, but also the mechanics themselves, I feel like hopefully are just better because making it just a bullet sponge, a health pool, a DPS check without having interesting mechanics still makes it easy because it's like we can at least people in our raid can like play their classes to a point where DPS checks aren't like unbelievably difficult unless it's just like an insane DPS check fight. But like if mechanics are boring, it still is going to be shitty. And in general, for like
I will admit, I do like one fight per tier that's just like absolute blast. Very minimal mechanics, not quite patchwork style, but just like that's your goal is to do target dummy and just see how hard you can pump.
Sludgefist was that, and I really liked Sludgefist because of that, because it was like, it was that target dummy, but at the same time, the mechanics were engaging enough that it was different. And that's just what I hope for with bosses like Skull X. It's not going to be end boss, of course, the 6th boss, but it's not an early boss. So hopefully, like they can get an interesting mechanic set that like makes it fun to do that pumping. Because I feel like it's always fun to try and like hit that min max while you're still perfectly doing mechanics.
Yeah, Sledgemas was nice too because it wasn't the mechanics weren't particularly random.
No, they weren't random, and they were hard but fun. And I mean, the chains were just like a sick thing. Completely brought the entire fight together. No
It
pun
did suck
intended.
though if you're one of those classes that didn't line up with the columns.
Yeah, but at the same time, it was also kind of fun because like then you can like figure out how do I want to use my cooldowns in between that time, like so I can line up for that juiced pillar at the
I
end.
just saved it for the next one.
5, 4.
That's fair.
3.
As Cinderella goes, like I would do similar things, but it's like I'd spend sometimes, but make sure I have my shiv up for the pillar.
Yeah, bosses for tomorrow testing don't look too bad. So that'll be a fun watch.
Yeah, I'll definitely be watching while I'm doing Bloodline.
If they don't test the last 3, that means we'll get most of the other first 8 tomorrow. Or next week, rather.
Yeah. Yeah, I really hope they don't test those. So, something I was noticing, actually, I feel like they are gearing up to not test those. Because if you look at the, like, book, a lot of those have their mythic mechanics, like, all sorted out. And a lot of the early fights...
They have a lot of mythic mechanics in it, but Jailer clearly has a lot of stuff missing.
Yeah, they're leaving stuff out of that one. But, like, the other Lords of Dread and Rising are both, like... You can get a good, like, idea of what they want to happen with a couple of the mechanics. Again, the Dreadlords seems like the mechanic being like that enhanced carry-on, or the Ori of carry-on, and the 4 or 5, the fear or whatever. But they're not like close together. So that's definitely exciting because everyone. It's so funny. As soon as they said, "Yeah, we might not test it," everyone's just like, "Yeah, don't test this." That'd be just super cool to go into those and not know what's going on.
Oh, this swarm. So when Mal'Ganis, when he goes into like his swarm of insects and disappears, like you notice his he apparently takes 100% increased damage from area of effect abilities during that time.
Yeah, that I thought was a very funny thing because it's like it makes sense, but it's just like very funny. I'm interested to see what that could mean.
Yeah, I want to see how that's relevant.
I feel like again, Destro Warlock would be probably pretty strong with that. It's like
what?
I mean,
Rice is in his element.
Yeah, I mean, you just fucking pop an Infernal and just Rain of Fire that shit. And actually, you think about it, Rain of Fire, you pair that with the fucking class set, the tier set, and you're going to be pumping damage during that phase. Which I think is also really funny and cool because it's like classes that can get their AoE rotation off in like a single target setting, I think are going to be super strong. It's like what I think it's going to be, where it's just like 2 targets to hit, or 1 even.
My peak Rice to me is when Rice is playing Destro, and it's mainly because he was so like animated and into it on Carapace. And for whatever reason, he was still like early in the guild at that point, I guess. And that's what I think of as like Rice wants to play Destro. He loves just launching those chaos bolts. Like, I don't know. That's what I think of when I think of Rice.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Rice is the Destro.
So you're
Warlock,
playing
right?
Destro next year, Rice. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, good.
Fuck.
You missed all of the Occam's raid. Wow.
I had it. Oh no, this looks like a wipe, Kelly. How did everyone die there?
Is this Prague for this group, I'm assuming?
Oh, they've killed
No.
this.
Wait, is this the one you were in a couple weeks ago, Rice?
Yeah.
Same guild?
Jeez, man.
Maybe they get it?
The dog is shit.
Yeah, they don't kill it with this many.
No, it's like 3 million health.
The Dogger's shit, but he was still 5th on the meter.
Mm-hmm. What's your eye level on that?
240. 240. 241, sorry.
Wait,
If I had more
you have
gold,
to-
Do you have the bow and the quiver?
Yeah, I don't have the quiver equipped, but because it's at 230, 31. I have the bow at least. Which is nice, it adds a pretty good amount of damage, 4.6% is to tap. I just need to get my Unholy to 5. And you know, more
What
gear
is
in
that
general.
legend? What is that legendary, Illy? 225.
that's-
225.
It's a
know
ring
how
though, so there's
poor
no
I
main
am?
stat.
Do you know how poor I am, Grollis?
Wait,
I am-
it's because of the base item?
Yes, it's
Wait,
because
if
of
that's
the base
legit,
item.
it like, wait, did the prices skyrocket again?
It's like 50k, and your boy.
Oh,
has
actually-
no
Dude, I will
money.
buy you one right now if that's.
I'm pretty sure I have a base ring in my pally bags that I can just mail you.
Yeah, sure, I'll take it.
Hook a Dogger up.
Yeah, I'm poor, dude. All
Oh,
my
wait,
legendaries
I'm
for this character are
I'm
like
on PTR right
225,
now. Never mind.
210. Oh, it's sad. Like I wanna, like that's the thing that keeps me from like doing more things on my ults, which I already do a lot of them. Is it's like I can't get legendaries because I do not have a bunch of gold. Also, don't listen to that. It's a lie. That 1.3 is like because I had 1 million on my Demon Hunter before I name changed, so it has locked that in there forever. But like,
Wait, where'd all the gold go from the name change? What?
huh? The name? Oh, so I see. If you can see Eligithil, you can also see Illy down there. Eligithil, that's how much I had while I was still that first name. And then I
Oh, you just
I
spent
name
it all
changed.
over BFA and this, or
Yeah, because after I swapped to Illy, like that was the gold that started to get spent at some point. That's why.
Wait, is it ring? I can craft the ring on my palette.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
What the fuck? And I bought one?
5,
Yeah, what are the mats for that other than the Quarthite?
2,
Oh, I only have the 235 ring, but I can mail you that if you want, Illy.
You know, sure.
Yo, send me that one. On my 4th one. I need that shit.
But Illy's only 225.
I have 0 on the 4th one. I might do 2.
But how much Quarthite is it to you? 40?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so that's 20k if we want to do it at cost, really.
Yeah, I probably have 40 worth of one. Cost my
Well, you'd be less poor if you sold stuff like that.
Oh, that's true.
What did I sell? I've never checked.
thought I
I mean,
didn't sell
it's
that
crashed, but it's still over 500 a unit.
Yeah, because no one wants to do it anymore.
Yeah, like if you just... It's shitty, but if you like do your mission table and do your Quarthia dailies, you're getting... And like do your calling, you're still getting like anywhere from 2 to 5k a day.
Wait a second. You still do Quarthia dailies? Why?
Not regularly, but I could if I was poor, but I'm not.
It's so inconvenient for me to go back to my common house. There's no gateway back to it, so I have to like fly there, pull back the house, or back the Orbos. Oof. I'd probably do more stuff in my mission table.
Yeah, I just have my hearth set there because I can mage to Orbos.
I mean, I have the gateway to Orbos, but whenever I swap Covenant, which I do somewhat often, it resets.
Oh,
it,
that
so
resets it to
just inconvenient as shit. I don't care that much about doing it.
What's the fastest way to farm renown after 40?
Sucking dick. Level 9 Torghast.
Torghast, yeah.
Run to the end, kill loss.
Sucking dick.
It starts dropping off there around the high 60s, though.
You can. It's the same. It's still pretty similar. It's less guaranteed, but you could still get it, and it's still like more time efficient to do it like that. I've done it all the way to 80, or like 79.
If you're really trying to min-max it, there might be a thing where, like, once you're like 78 or something, save your callings since they're guaranteed.
I've never done a calling my entire fucking life.
Okay, they're guaranteed around if you're behind, though.
But I've never done one.
Didn't they like buff the rewards on them or something? It's been a while.
The rewards are now just like whatever the thing is.
They also give grateful offerings if you care about those cosmetics.
That's what they added, yeah.
Oh shit, they do?
Yeah, they give like 7 grateful offerings per calling now or something.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, actually it is, because that was, since Anima just gets like shotgunned at you now, grateful offerings are the real cock block for a lot of the Covenant cosmetics.
The old gnome and a sea.
Somebody had one.
All went fishing.
Somebody had the little fishing orb, and I clicked on it.
Wait, no, so your pally had never fished before?
Yeah, I guess not.
Dude, I need one fucking daily to pop from the old man outside of Shatrath, and I've been there every day for the last month, and he won't give me the last daily. It's the only thing between me and the salty title, and I'm literally salty about it.
Yeah.
I kind of hope you don't get it for a little while then, so because I find that No, I just find it amusing that he's salty over the salty title.
Like, I've done every other part of the meta except for,
Wait, isn't that the title that requires the fishing competition win?
Yeah, no, I've won it twice.
Damn.
Yeah, no, I've already done the hard part. I just can't get one daily off of that list to pop.
How do you win the fishing competition? I've never even heard of this.
The one in Stranglethorn Vale, it's every Sunday at, like, I think 5 o'clock your time. Problem is, a number of expansions ago, they changed it so you're competing against your entire region, not just your server. So, like,
that
you need to get...
fun.
Yeah. And then you also need to just, like, stand in front of the Dalaran fountain for 2 or 3 hours fishing up coins, although that one wasn't too bad, because between the artifact rod, other stuff, and, like, wad bait, my fishing was jacked up way higher than it should have been.
I'm pretty sure at some point I did a ton of fishing in the Dalaran fountain, and I have some achievement from it, but I'm guessing it's not that.
Legion or Wrath?
3, 2,
I think it would have been. Ooh, that's a good.
Oh my
question.
god, you're still pulling that shit, Ilya?
Yeah.
Well, at least
I think it
is
might have
getting
been
good
Wrathfall, but
practice.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, because Wrath is the one you had to do for the meta, and did it give you, like, the titanium seal of Dalaran as a toy?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so you did all the Wrath coins.
Oh, is everyone waiting for Endwalker?
Yeah.
I mean, that's why a bunch of random people from Erebus were like, hey, let's do keys, because the servers are down.
You're doing 20s?
Wait, what's
No,
keys?
we were doing, like, 17s and 16s. Pygar was tanking, but it was okay.
Does it come up in like the middle of the night, the server?
Yeah, it's 1
Yes.
a.m. my time.
Well,
It's going to come up at, like, 4 a.m. Eastern.
that's why I woke up super late today.
Sea of Thieves also has its new season start.
Oh, cool.
Oh, the big 3 MMOs.
Wow, Final Fantasy and Sea of Thieves.
Nope.
With its 24 player per server maximum.
Warframe has a new expansion coming up. It's a big one.
This looks like the kill, Lily.
Nah.
I'm just kidding. You're 60%.
Someone has just died. Warrior has just died. How?
Harm's way.
Maybe. The Paladin?
That guy's in our guild now, isn't he?
Oh, is that DeLong's Pally?
Yeah.
Did we kick that Paladin?
Which Pally?
The mystery Pally.
Phallus's quote
Oh, I don't know. I actually haven't checked.
Yeah. That's funny.
He's got like the unranked rank, so you can't actually like take anything from the guild bank or do anything to like fuck us over. So
Just plunders the potion tab.
I think Unsorted has like 0 access to the guild bank.
I'm really pumped for Marksman next year. The tier set is sick.
I thought it was bad.
No, it's really good.
Oh.
It gives passive two target aim. Then some.
What's it do?
So the 2-piece is your shots that are buffed by trick shots deal 30% more damage. And the 4-piece is every 80 focus you spend, you gain 2 charges of trick shots.
Keats is going. Keats is about to log on Hunter.
Hell no.
No. Hunter's
Warrior
fun,
is so
but I
much
would
fun.
not name this.
Feels so good playing a warrior.
Bro, I'm dying.
I don't know how you didn't die there, really.
You know.
Oh, you're dead here. Oh.
Slippery.
Slippery monkey.
Oh, they wait for the lust until.
This is a suboptimal lust with 5 DPS dead.
5 dead, yeah.
I'm in danger.
Because there's also an argument to be made for lust helping the healers there, isn't there?
They're doing it what at like 30%? I mean that's why we started lust
that was
there initially, yeah.
Wait, I thought they were like 20%. I thought that was the chest piece exploding and launching him the second time. Did they lust right at 30?
They do single spells.
You single the spells till the last phase and they do doubles. Why? Fuck if I know, dude.
They have 2 priests. I don't understand.
They have
3
priests.
3. 1, 2, 3.
Well, I guess rank 2K plus is as rank 2K plus does.
I wanna fucking not be here. Girls, can I bring this character to the early boss loot, dude?
Jesus Christ.
Is there a chance you play it in next raid?
Yeah, sure.
Yes is the correct answer.
Is there a chance you play it in our main raid?
Next tier in our main raid? I don't know. You never know these things. I don't even know.
Hunter is one of those classes you want to make sure you bring like 4 or 5 of.
Yeah, honestly. I hear only the good guilds do that.
We could have 8.3 again, where you just want as many fire mages and BM hunters as you can find.
That's true.
Man, fire mage is gonna be fucking in next tier.
It's gonna be lit, eh?
I think we're gonna end up with 2 mages.
Yeah, me and life.
Hopefully. Yeah.
or life and another replacement.
You'll be on there, Wah.
Yay.
I need to get my fucking... I'm gonna legitimately keep my Demon Hunter like as geared as possible next year, just in case something happens. Because I don't like playing a character that's so shit in main raid. Even if it's as like a replacement. Because I feel like this boss, not this one, Fate's Drive could have been a lot easier tonight and last night if my character was like stronger. That was actually the worst thing ever. How did I mispull that?
Although, if we keep the 4 Shaman, 3 Druid comp, actually 4 Shaman, 4 Druid comp if War were to play Guardian, theoretically we're starting to get close to just being able to be sped up constantly.
And we'd be a furry guild, so we got that going for us too.
Okay, so that's a negative though, Keats.
McGrawlith wants to embrace the move speed meta.
I feel like if you had move speed constantly, I mean, it takes some getting used to, but it'd be pretty beneficial.
Yeah. I mean, I play a rogue that has move speed constantly. I can walk faster than this.
Although, if we were on like a boss platform that you were able to fall off of, we'd have a whole lot of deaths. And people would just say, I forgot about the momentum.
I mean, that would only be demon hunters though.
I got it.
You say that, but I don't think it's just the DHs. I get the momentum joke, but...
No, it would probably not be the demon hunters, to be honest. It would be the slow classes that aren't used to being fast. Because, like, as a DH, you can, like, react to move speed.
It'd be, like, regardless of class, it would be people who jump randomly. Like, I think that happened to Marius a few times. Like, people who just, like, jump when they're running and then, oh, that's going to carry me farther than I'm used to it doing because I'm running faster.
Did they just use Symbol of Hope, non-ironically, I think?
Who?
I mean, so I'm assuming this raid has a Holy Priest, because I'm pretty sure that was the Symbol of Hope icon that popped up.
The symbol of Hope.
I think so, but I've like,
2 holy priests.
I don't know that I've ever seen it in our raid, so I'm not sure what it looks like.
Holy
but
yeah.
Oh my god, there.
But that's the comp you want.
Kelly is fucking
Ooh, actually, wow. So Mistweaver, 2 Holy Priests, Resto Druid, and Resto Shaman. That is the healing comp.
Holy shit. Who needs fucking raid-wide DRs with no range?
That poor Resto Shaman is... He's not doing bad either. Like, almost 8k HPS is nothing to sneeze at, but...
I don't think with a Mistweaver and a Resto Druid, and to a lesser degree the Holy Priest, you're... Like, they're sniping
keeping
you
up
too much, yeah.
Oh my god, Illy.
Man, fucking destroyed me, dude.
Yeah, because he had dotted at the time, yeah.
Yeah, because there were like so many orbs out. I got murdered. But, you know, as long as these clowns can pick this shit up.
Do you track B-reses anywhere? I don't see it.
Getting B-res? No, I don't track B-res actually. Mainly because I don't really care about it. Since if I'm...
Oh, someone needs to lust for you.
Now you got a track, so if you see 0, you can just get up and go take a piss, get some water.
I'm gonna die, dude.
You were at full health, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Chest, ribcage.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a gamer.
Game remove. Can't be said about everyone in the raid.
Like 3 people there were not gamers, but Illy definitely was.
Is this the kill?
I think this is the kill.
Hell no. Fucking done, dude.
You got 10% with... You gotta play the bomb. Maybe... No, you don't have to play the bomb.
You'll have to...
Maybe you have to play the bomb. I don't know.
I think you need to play the bomb, but you won't get the one with the extra rib cage.
Their damage isn't super.
Illy's doing it.
Oh.
The first kill.
Yeah.
No one's doing bombs.
Push buttons to not die.
Kelly's pumping. Tuyu's alive.
Wow.
Nice. Tuyu's alive? He was like 6th on the meter.
He was 6 on the meter.
Yeah.
Tuyu's pumping, dude.
I wasn't expecting that.
I was 9. Oh no, and I was dead, bro.
Melee
I didn't have
has-
hero there.
Melee has Tuyu, every time he plays Warlock, he's like, it's so hard. There's so many things to keep track of if you play half.
It's so immobile during the ramp. It's oh my goodness.
It's fucking awesome. Don't let it
Oh, it's so like I don't know how you don't throw your computer out when you like get fucked over.
Nope, you don't.
Have you listened to Rice?
I mean,
What
I'd
makes
be
you think he
I'm so
hasn't
pissed
thrown his
off.
computer?
And it was only one night of raiding.
Please MD my healer, you moron. Thank you.
What, no soul render? I tell you what.
No, their raid is over.
Last pool, best pool.
True.
Oh, is our achievement run this weekend? I don't remember the date.
Next.
The 9.
9th, okay.
Major League Baseball
Who am I going to
is
find?
having a lockout, so now the MLB subreddit is about Mario Baseball.
Over there.
It's about Mario Baseball.
Yeah, like the top post right there right now with 9K upvotes is Boo hits a 2-run shot to left to go up by 1.
Could be a net positive. The memes could be outstanding. Wow. You didn't have memes during the 90 lockout.
Cool. That's that time done. We got a box for next week.
Oh yeah, we did. That's right.
Oh, you got 3 bosses?
4.
4.
Ooh.
Got the necklace. Pretty nice.
That was weird. RUK just bought my meat off the auction house.
MD my healer, you moron. Nope.
I see him log on it. I think he's still in guild, right?
No, he's in a different guild.
Oh, you guys want to see something funny?
Yes.
Here, I can show you the... Let's look at my Demon Hunter real fast. I can show you the resources that I have from when I was told by Kelly that I might be playing the character. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta get all my Covenants up to snuff. And then all my Legendaries.
He's still in our healer chat to you. That's
So
what
I
it
did a
is.
lot of Torghast across the course of 2 days. I think I did more Torghast in 2 days than I have the entire expansion. So that was fun. But yeah, let's go.
The mage from Final Encounter asked me, like, what do I do for, like, max ad damage on the fight? And I just, on Soul Render. And I said, I don't know, I have a Necro Windwalker who just sneezes at them.
True.
Final encounters on Surrender?
Yeah.
Not bad.
But they also picked up some refugees from Order. So, like, I think Sev is, like, sort of co-raid leading with them. They picked up a couple
does
other
that
players.
even mean?
It means he, like, kind of tries to raid lead, and then Scarlet will say stuff too, because Sev is too nice and won't actually call people out for individual mistakes. And sometimes he's a bit too,
Bit!
Well, I was going to say actually tentative on, like slow, for example, when they were stuck at, like, you know, single-digit % on Remnant for a while, because they were just too damn slow with him calling the dispels on the ribcage overlap. So they'd, like, finally dispel, and then they'd get knocked again by the ribcage.
Oh, but here, this is my Soul Ash This is after spending like 30k.
Let me see.
There.
Oh my.
Demon Hunter
1
Select.
million?
It's 100k.
No.
Calm down.
1 million.
It has 6 numbers. I mean, that's zeros actually. Right?
Yeah. On the bright side, I got all my Demon Hunter legendaries to like 262. Like all the ones that I want at least. So like 3 capes and shit. Some wrists. But you know, it's expensive. I buy a bunch of these. Sick.
So, in looking up their progress, did anybody else know we have 2 guilds at 9 out of 10? And apparently they're pretty much neck and neck.
No, I didn't know.
Who?
Yeah, the Cognition Horde guild is...
Oh, they came surging back then.
They're arguably ahead on Sylvanas Prog. I think they're technically like 0.1% behind, but...
Less time spent.
Looks like we're looking ahead
they
of
have
the
fewer
zoo.
pulls, and I doubt they end raid an hour early every night.
They ended like half an hour early again tonight. I don't fucking get it.
They might also correct their mistakes better.
We need to find a streamer in Cognition. I want to watch them then.
Oh, I have one.
Who?
You guys don't have the 217285 dude?
Oh, that's who that was.
217.
Wait, that's serious? I thought
Yeah, all those numbers. No, I am following him. That's right. I was trying to remember who the fuck that guy was.
21785 what?
217285.
285. Oh shit, this man has last stream.
Yeah, they were on it tonight.
Oh, they're on Fade's grave.
It seems like the healing seems like it's less of a problem.
No, they were pulling Sylvanas tonight.
Is this not them? What guild is this? This might be Internet Explorers.
It's Cognition Malfurion, right?
Oh, no, but this stream might be Internet Explorers.
This is heroic Internet Explorers.
Oh, never mind. Okay. I don't
Kelly,
have
you lied to
Cognition.
us.
I'm sorry. This was the other Horde Mythic guild, I guess.
Wait, which one's the better one?
Cognition is 9 of 10 Mythic.
Yeah, like Phase 2 Sylvanas. It's the one that has the Ubin Dip druid in it.
Ubin Dip.
Hey, they blast apparently.
Kelly, Sea of Thieves is up.
Dude, it's midnight. I gotta
Wah
sleep.
is thirsty,
I know,
Kelly.
I know. I gotta
Dude, I
sleep.
was so fucking bored last night. I solo slooped a Thieves Haven run.
Okay,
and it
I will.
worked. Because I
will
found
play-
a galleon that was also
You
doing
wanna
Athenas
keep-
and we alliance
yeah,
and they
we
were really
could've
cool in
queued it up.
German. I made German
Dude,
friends.
all this time, Rice would have played with you.
I don't think so. I can't tell if he actually enjoys Sea of Thieves.
I mean, doesn't
think
he
he
enjoy
just wants-
anything?
Yeah.
Fair.
Who says Rice has to enjoy this?
I enjoyed the Xiaolong Bao.
Be like, I'm playing right now, bitch.
That's what I thought too.
I'm watching Hitbo do the new buried treasure thing and burying a bunch of stronghold kegs to have people dig them up.
Nice. I will do something very short with you, Wah. Because I
No.
soon.
It's
no,
okay.
I'm already loading the game.
You
Well,
ruined it.
Actually, has to patch.
Yeah, it has to patch. I haven't
Yeah,
patched.
all right.
it
Never,
either.
I'll play tomorrow though. Are we doing
Moment's
heroic
gone,
tomorrow?
Kelly.
Is anyone going to show up to heroic
End
tomorrow?
Walker, end Walker.
Okay,
End
I didn't do
Walker.
so.
No,
No, that's fine.
all the nerds are playing
I'm
Final
not,
Fantasy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do heroic if it's like literally Ellison and Beck's shitty hunter.
Yeah.
He's no hot dog man, you know.
Oh, exactly. He's not 4 out of 10 mythic on
Hot
his
dog man
hunter.
is 4 out of 10 mythic and a gamer.
4 out of 10 mythic.
Okay, Hippo's also burying an Athena chest, so like, it's gonna be such a fucking slot machine getting those
Oh,
quests.
so you don't know what the buried map? They don't tell you like what the treasure is?
I don't
No,
think
I would-
all you can do is pick what region it's in.
How do I
So
update
looks
this?
like
What's
he and
the-
his people just did a Fort of Fortune, And they're burying all the high value stuff from it on the fort island. So like all the Athena stuff and the stronghold kegs are just burying like right there at the fort.
I'm up and off. Night all.
Nice.
Hi, girls.
Like,
We should
I
go do
wonder-
one real quick, Wah.
I wonder if you bury treasure and you log off, do you get credit?
It says you do, yeah.
Yeah, so
It's
you
only
have
people
to
who do it offline.
you have to turn your map into the board, and then you can log off. And if anyone digs it up and sells it, you get the reputation and a big chunk of renown from it, but you don't get gold.
But some of these people have more gold than they know what to do with, so they're probably just having fun burying fun things for other people.
But like you don't get to see them dig it up because it could easily go to someone on another server.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, like it's a system-wide quest board that you then post it to. Now,
Start it up. Start building the boat. It's at 15%. It's at 15%. We can
Go
do
to
one of these
bed.
little mission boards.
okay, I'm starting the patch.
It's
Yeah, we have gigabit internet, so the patch should be
Yeah.
quick for us.
Well, I
20
don't,
inches.
so you might have to.
Oh, so we'll start the boat. Okay.
Yeah.
Are we
Start a
doing
break
a
and we'll-
galleon? Is Rice
wait, who
coming?
else would come? Rice, are you coming?
I can't come right now.
Okay,
All right,
that's fine.
make a
We'll do
break. We'll dig some random shit up. I'm gonna go pour rum and coke to get in the mood.